You just don't. You just move on. So have a growth mindset. And then the success of others. You'll see us on stage later tonight. And those of you at home, up in Canada, all across the US as well, you'll see us on stage tonight celebrating the success of others. You will. I know every single one of you is extremely excited about the success of others. You have a growth mindset. You don't actually see it as a threat. You see it as, hey, I need to go do what they're doing and just adopt that, because you can imitate the best, but you copy the rest. If someone's successful, just do what they're doing and try to do it the best that you can do it. People that have a fixed mindset see that as a threat. So interestingly enough, there are other people, there are people in this room that I know for a fact have a true growth mindset. This guy did, right? See if you see some people with growth mindsets on the screen, right? I couldn't put all of your pictures up here. It would take 40 minutes probably to flash through them at 2 seconds a pop. But every single one of the people that you're seeing up there are leaders, just like every one of you in this room. And if you're not a member of WFG and you're watching this at home today, if you want to change the trajectory of your life, if you want to change your future and your family's future, you absolutely need to do the right thing. And this is where most people, when we have a big stage like the one you see on the screen behind me, when we have a big stage, people make a decision at these conventions. They make the decision to change their lives, change their families' lives. And by the way, I know every single one in this room has changed the lives of millions of people all across North America. In order to do that, you just need to make a choice. Do you do this part-time at first? Do you do this full-time? I'm going to tell you that we're here for you. WFG is field-driven and home office supported. I want to say thank you all for your time today. I'm going to now introduce Blake Bostwick. Blake Bostwick is my upline. And then later on, I'll step back up here to introduce my upline's upline, if you will, the CEO of Transamerica. But look, these two leaders, there's been a lot of change at Transamerica and Aegon. We have totally new leadership. What I will tell you is you'll hear Will talk a little bit later about where we were. You know, the Instagram, it says how it started, how it's going, and then, you know, how it ends. You're going to hear the how it started and how it's going. But how it ends is going to be a very different story. WFG is the shining star on the hill for all of Aegon and all of Transamerica now, and that's a very different place to be. So I want to thank all of you in this room, and I'm now going to turn the floor over to Mr. Blake Bostwick, who is not physically here today with us, but he is going to be on the screen behind us. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Introducing Chief Executive Officer of Individual Solutions for Transamerica, Blake Bostwick.
Hi, my name is Blake Bostwick. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Transamerica's Individual Solutions business. World Financial Group is a key piece to that portfolio. Before I talk a little bit about World Financial Group, I'd like to take a minute just to introduce myself. I've been with Transamerica roughly 20 years, and I've been fortunate enough to participate and be involved with World Financial Group over that time. That could be from the product side, where I'm working with you all to better understand our solutions. That could be participating in the great foundation events that we have, which you all should be proud of because we touch so many different people through the foundation, and there's so many great causes there. Or it could be participating in a convention like this. I've been fortunate enough to sit in the audience and learn from all of you. I've also been on the product side where I've been part of the sponsors, helping you learn about our products and solutions. But these conventions get me excited every single time because I get to see the impact that all of you have and the excitement that all of you have on growing your businesses and serving our customers. But before I talk a little bit more about World Financial Group and the importance of it, I'd be remiss to not talk about the great success that you all have had. And first, it comes down to working with you all in the field and the importance that you have on shaping what we need to do to be better as an organization. I've been fortunate enough to meet with Swan and Penny over the last couple of weeks. I've had few meetings with the chairmans and president's council, where I learn so much every day from how you run your business, how you can be more successful, what we can do to better support you. And if you think about over the last year, it's been a heck of a year. Global pandemic, changes of what's going on out in the environment, and you've adapted constantly throughout that time. And let me share a couple numbers with you that just shows the success and growth that we've had as an organization. Recruits are nearly 90,000 through May of this year. Our life licenses are up 12%, north of 50,000. Our overall points are just under 400,000. That's up 34% year over year. Simply astonishing. You look at our policy count, and this is what really matters. This is how we are helping customers every single day. We're over 130,000 through May. That's a 14% jump year over year. That's individuals and families we're protecting every single day. And finally, our gross commissions are just under $500 million, up 35%. That's a testament to the policies you're placing and the overall points you have. So if you step back and just think about that growth, you should be excited, you should be commended and applauded, because that's you all every day working hard to serve our customers. So thank you. Finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about just the importance of World Financial Group as part of broader Transamerica. This is a key asset and a key contributor to Transamerica and broader Aegon. And the work we do together to touch so many lives is critical. But we as an organization and part of the home office and part of our product and services have to get better every day to support you. And that's why I can't stress enough how important it is to me to learn in conventions like this from you all, to hear from the different councils, or to work directly with you on how we can get better every day to serve you. And that's something that Tom Dempsey and me talk about every day, of where and how we can get better as an organization to do one thing and one thing only: better serve our customers. And if we can better serve our customers, that means we're going to grow our business, you're going to grow your business, and that leads to more opportunities for all of you. So the work we do together is so critical, and we touch so many lives, millions and millions of people every day, like I talked about earlier. And we never, never, never can forget that. We're here to help people. We're here to help serve the community. And the importance of World Financial Group in the diversity that we have as part of this team is astonishing. We touch people from all walks of lives, different ethnicities. We are what America looks like, and you all are helping us serve our country better. And I can't stress it enough that you all are on the front line every day, making better lives for everybody. Finally, I would just like to talk about one other thing. Is this company is poised for growth. And we're going to continue to invest in how we can make this a better place for all of us to grow year by year by year by year. I'm not done working every day till I figure out how to knock down obstacles, how to make us more efficient, how to create a better overall customer experience. What can we do to better invest in all of you? So I'd like to first off thank you once again for the great year you've had and the success you've had. Hopefully you all are feeling that excitement out of me. Hopefully you're getting that excitement as part of the convention here. And more importantly, let's set our sights on a lofty goal. Let's continue to grow this thing at those numbers I were talking about, 15, 20, 35, 40%. That's exciting to be part of a growing organization. You should be proud of what you're doing every day. And I'm humbled to be part of this team. So thank you and have a great convention.
All right, thank you, Blake. So for our next speaker, I've had the fortunate opportunity to spend a little time with Will Fuller. Will is Transamerica's newest addition. He is our CEO of all of the Americas. Will has a very big job. He'll tell you some numbers on who Transamerica is, how WFG fits into all of that. But what I will say is this. The day that Will Fuller was announced, my cell phone started buzzing. And it was buddies that worked at Lincoln. It was people that worked with Will when he was at Merrill Lynch. It was with people that have known Will for over 30 years. And every single one of them said, it's kind of like, Tom, I don't know if you know this, but this is very much like when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Tom Brady. Every single person that texted me said, how did you land that guy? So what I will say is, within our organization, we're poised to take the next step. WFG, as you'll hear, is going to be a key component of the next step for all of Transamerica. Will Fuller is the man for we talked about this before when I was coming on stage. We absolutely have to have the right leaders at the right time within the organization. Will Fuller, you'll see, is the right leader at the right time for our organization. So please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Transamerica CEO, Will Fuller.
Introducing President and Chief Executive Officer of Transamerica, Will Fuller.
Good morning. I am thrilled to be here. One, to be here with you. Most importantly, this is my first client interaction in my new job, right? And I'm also thrilled to be in person again, right? And not be always virtual, but still I love the idea that people can tune in from home, and glad that you are. You know what it's like to start a new job, right? We've all done it. I remember starting a new job where I was washing dishes, or starting a new job when I was working in a textile mill. I grew up in the Carolinas. Or first day of school, or even you go to your professional career. You got to meet a lot of people, and you got to listen, and you got to learn, and you make early observations, right? And early impressions. Well, I can tell you that one of them was I knew World Financial Group was something special. But I didn't realize just how distinctive, unique, and impressive. And I can tell you, in Transamerica 2.0, World Financial Group will be our growth engine. Right? Now, I got a lot to learn. I got to learn this whoosh thing. All right? Obviously, I got to learn how to rap and break dance, which is not going to be good. But I'm going to try, and I think Tom's going to be a pretty good teacher. But more importantly, look, this is a business about people. People helping people always has been that way. It's always going to be that way. So I get a lot to learn in terms of meeting people and meeting you and hearing your ideas on what you think we need to do as a company in Transamerica 2.0 to take us to the next level. I look forward to I really appreciate the interactions I've had so far here. I look forward to Hawaii and spending the time with you. And I look forward to being in your future meetings. You will see me. I will be here because I want to be close to the customer. Businesses are about customers. You start with the customer, you start with the people who serve the customer, and you work back. And the best businesses focus on the client every single day. I know that you have a choice every single day as to who you want to partner with. And we have to earn your trust. Every person at Transamerica wakes up to serve you, one client at a time, one interaction at a time. Now, a little something about me. I'm from the Carolinas, so that's why I talk a little bit funny for those of you that maybe aren't from the Southeast. And if you think it's bad now, just wait till you get a glass of wine or a cocktail in my hand. It gets a little slower and a little deeper. But I grew up in a small town where there wasn't a whole lot of people that were helping people with financial security. Rural towns was my grow-up experience. And my first job out of college was a licensed life insurance agent for a company called Jefferson Pilot, and then a registered rep. And I've worked 27 plus years from that day in this industry. And so I know what it's like to sit inside someone's home with their family at their kitchen table. I know what it's like having that meeting at 9 o'clock at night when you're tired. I know what it's like when you actually have to do what we never hope that we have to do, which is provide benefits that people purchase. And this is a real thing, everybody. Last year at Transamerica 2020, we paid $50 billion of benefits. $50 billion. Life insurance claims, annuity retirement benefits. Think about that. That is just so significant. So when we talk about financial security, think about that. $50 billion of benefits, and think of the families that in a sense had that. So my focus on the client really starts from having had the experience of working with clients and working with families. What makes World Financial Group truly unique to me is the idea that we create professional opportunities, career opportunities, business ownership opportunities for thousands of people, which then allow us to serve millions of people for financial security. Transamerica 2.0, what I would like to see is that no one serves more families in America for financial security than we do. And that this is the largest organization for financial advisors committed to that purpose in the country, or in the continent, in the Americas. And lastly, that everything we do has the client's best interest at heart. I think Tom's point about the reputation management is super important because it allows us to brand our company and grow. And I know through my conversations with many of you that you share, in a sense, that commitment. Those are concepts that then put numbers in perspectives. People create numbers. 52,000 people coming to this organization happened because people connected with people. Our sales grow because people help people, and that is the business that we're in, and we are committed to it. I'm proud to be a part of the team. I'm proud to have the opportunity to lead Transamerica forward, and I can tell you that Blake, Tom, Andrew, Seth, Susan, Rick, Janice, and Suzanne, all the people from the home office that are here to support you, are deeply committed to helping you grow your practice and helping the field be as successful as possible. And I'm very proud to be a part of that team. What are our priorities going forward? What's Transamerica 2.0 about? It's about growth. Great companies grow. And it's about creating a unique legacy for growth and take this foundation that we have that's very strong and build on it. Creating products for your customers is an important part of that growth. Transamerica will invest in being a product innovator and a product manufacturer for solutions for our customers, i.e., your customers. We will continue to invest to make sure that we have a gold standard for service experience and that we're easy to do business with. I see a lot of areas of improvement, and a lot of my list of areas for improvement come from feedback that we have from you. I don't want any other company in America to be better at the fundamentals of running our business than we are. We should be the best at product manufacturing. We should be the best at service. We should be the best at field support. We should be the best at education. And we should be the best at being a partner with our field. And that is what I'm committed to. I've committed my entire 27-year career to those principles, and I'm thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to apply them at Transamerica with this team and with all of you. And I'm only 100 days in the job, so I'm the new kid on the block still. I'm still new to school. One idea I want to pass along is the power of optimism. And this lives very deep in me. And it comes from my life experience, which I believe that optimism is a force multiplier. And I'm walking home last night from dinner, and I'm trying to reflect on the day and the people that I met. And what I notice is every person that I talk to associated with World Financial Group shares this spirit of optimism. And it's really important that I put some specificity to this. I'm not talking about optimism in the rose-colored glasses, Pollyannish, the world is going to be better, the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm talking about the kind of optimism that comes from confidence, experience, knowing that you've got loving people in your life that support you, working hard to make things happen. That's the optimism that I believe in. And so I believe there's absolutely nothing that we can't accomplish together when we all get on the same page, get aligned to the same objectives, join hands, and work hard. Yes, there are going to be challenges. Interest rates go low, interest rates go high. Can't control that. Equity markets go high, equity markets go low. Can't control that. Can't really control regulations that occur. We are always going to live in a lot. Can't control if there's a pandemic. We are always going to live in a world where we're confronted with challenges. In our personal lives, we're going to be confronted with challenges. The key is, how do we respond to them? What actions do we take? And there's so many examples of this, but just look at you and what you've been able to accomplish in a period of time that so many people were stuck at home or unable to work. There was every reason in the world to point to the fact that you couldn't grow or be successful. Look at what you accomplished. It was because you embraced that spirit of optimism. You took that spirit of confidence and experience and you put it to work in different ways. And today we have people here in this audience in person. We have a lot of people that are tuning in from elsewhere, and it expands our reach as a company. We're stronger and we're better off for it. So let me just end by saying I am proud to be a part of World Financial Group. I am proud to have the opportunity to lead Transamerica 2.0 to new heights. I really appreciate everything that you do to make sure that you serve your communities well and you serve the families in your communities well. And I can tell you, you're making a difference. You're making a difference in people's lives, and we at Transamerica appreciate everything that you do, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Will Fuller. And now a spotlight on our collective why.
So, a little about me. I was homeschooled and grew up with one brother in Central Alberta. After graduating, I did bus driving, horse training, building homes, and truck driving. I was just looking for something to do to fill some time, and that's when I got introduced to WFG and could work part-time around my schedule. I thought I'd like to learn about financial education and learn about money and finance for myself. When I first started with the company, we talked about having our personal plan in place and to make sure that we're properly protected. One of the things that was shown to me was critical illness insurance. I thought, well, I'm young, I'm healthy, I probably don't need this. I thought, then, well, what's the harm? In 2018, I started stumbling a lot. I would be out at the grocery store and eventually my legs would just kind of give out. It was pretty traumatic because I didn't know what was wrong with me. That's when this doctor started a lot of testing, and I got diagnosed with MS in 2019. It was just 2 years later when I first started the testing for MS that I did my first claim. $100,000 is really not much when you actually get diagnosed with something, because the illness can be so major and the expenses are so huge. Even if you're set up and you have investments, do you want to use all your investments? And what are you going to do when they're all gone? Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Then add into that a critical illness. And what do? That's a scary feeling when you're dealing with health issues, right?
All right, I am so excited. It's a thrill, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to introduce our next three speakers who are going to be speaking to all of you about some different stages of the business. The first speaker is a really good friend of mine from Canada, Paxton Fritsch, who's an EBC. He's got over 350 licensed agents in his organization, obviously making a big difference out there. 22 people in his organization making over $100,000 a year. His personal cash flow is $1.5 million. And I speak about these measuring sticks not as it defines who they are, but it just means they're helping a whole bunch of people. And if you've come here to help people, then you got to go and you got to make a lot of money. Father of 4 kids and husband to his beautiful wife, Jill. Our second speaker is Connie Chen, has an academic background. She received a PhD in Germany. She told me she started in WFG in LA as a way for her to go and learn some English, and who would have known it would have translated into 700 licensed agents right now, and $2 million a year, SEVC, so just a great story. And then our third speaker is Jeff Levitan, Executive Chairman, seven-figure earner for 20 years, father of five, founder of All for One international children's charity, a builder of leaders, and has been very instrumental in helping Canada. I remember when he would come out and speak at all these big events. So thank you, Jeff, so much for all of that you did early on in those years. Excited for all of you to get value from these three tremendous leaders. Please put your hands together and welcome these next speakers.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Paxton Frisch.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much, Cam. It's awesome to be introduced by such a great friend and someone I've looked up into business for so long when I was coming up in the business. That was awesome. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm thankful for my team, for my leadership, for WFG, for all of that. Very, very excited about that. I'm grateful to be here. And I was just asked to talk about my part-time journey. So I was asked to talk about my part-time journey. I'm from Ottawa. We can start that slideshow. I'm from Ottawa, and I'm an EVC with the company, been here for 15 years, and back in 1998, I moved out to Edmonton. So I moved to Edmonton, and the reason I moved to Edmonton is because I got hired by the Edmonton City Police. So I was a police officer with the Edmonton City Police for about 8 years, but after about 4 years, next slide, after about 4 years of being a police officer, I remember this one night. I'm driving down Jasper Avenue. Jasper Ave is like the bar district in Edmonton. And I'm driving down Jasper Ave in my police car at 4 o'clock in the morning. And as I'm driving down the street, my partner's sitting beside me in the car. And I look over at my partner. And my partner is 15 years older than me, about 15 years senior to me in the police service. And I just remember looking at him that night thinking, number one, this is not what I want to be doing 15 years from now. Number two, I thought this guy was making about $8,000 a year more than me 15 years later. And I was just like, that's not really what I want my income to look like, right? And then the third thing, which was the biggest for me, is that I knew that he got to spend time with his family and his kids. I didn't have kids at the time. He got to spend time with his kids and his family when the Edmonton Police Service told him that he could. And I was not excited about that. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I like what I do. I'm grateful to have this awesome job, but I think there might be more. So I started looking. I started going on a journey and a search. I tried a couple different little businesses, tried a couple little things, ended up buying a little franchise, that kind of stuff. But then in 2006, I ran into WFG. And when I ran into WFG, right, I started part-time. I knew nothing about money and finance, nothing about business, nothing, right? And I was able to start part-time. And when I started part-time, this is what I wanted. Next slide. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be my own boss. I just thought, what if I could be my own boss? What if I could make some more money? At the time, I just wanted to make some part-time extra money and pay off some credit card debt, right? What if I could have complete control and freedom of time? Wouldn't that be amazing, right? But I wanted to not work for somebody else and work for a paycheck. I wanted to build something for myself, for my future family. And I wanted to still make a difference and be significant. And those are the things that I was looking for. And that's what I was hoping this would bring. Hope. Didn't have belief, didn't have no. I had hope that this would bring that. But during my part-time journey, I had some questions along the way, some unknowns, right? Number one, is this credible? Well, we get licensed by the states and the provinces that we lived in by basically government regulatory agencies, right? And if they're giving us a license, I'm pretty sure that this is legit and above board, right? Number two, the companies that we work with. We work with some of the biggest, most respected financial, mortgage, banks, insurance companies on the planet, right? And if they're gonna associate with us, then obviously this is a credible thing. And then last thing is Aegon. Aegon's a pretty darn big company, and they purchased us about 20 years ago or so. Don't quote me on all these facts, for a lot of money, right? And I'm pretty sure before they spent a lot of money on WFG, they did some research. And I'm pretty sure they have some pretty high-priced and smart people, high-priced lawyers and smart people working for them. And I'm pretty sure also that if they did the research, I don't really need to, and there's nothing I could find out that they didn't find out. And they went ahead and purchased us, and you just heard that we're gonna be the growth for all of Transamerica and Aegon. Pretty cool. So, and this other, the more that I hung around WFG, the more I saw good people doing great things for other people. Next slide. And next slide. Next thing was, what's the risk? Well, it costs almost nothing. You don't have to quit your job. You get to control your schedule. It's gonna take some time, right? It's gonna cost you some time, right? In my world, there's no risk. You can do this around your faith, your family, your fitness, your business, your job, all those things, right? Worst case scenario, right? You're gonna learn a ton about money and finance and about business. Worst case. Best case, sky's the limit. It's up to you. Next slide. What does it cost? Well, I mean, in Ontario, where we get licensed, right? You have to get a license. Okay, that's the cost of this business. You got to get a license. It's about $700 here from AA to fully licensed. It's not very much money, right? There's a small monthly overhead. You just heard it's going to go down even. They're making it better every day. The platform fee and our insurance, right? Pretty awesome, right? And then as far as a traditional business goes, or a real business, as people say, right? This basically costs nothing. Bottom line. Okay, next slide. Then I thought, can I do it? Can I actually do this? Well, I saw example after example after example after example. People from all different backgrounds, right? All different places, all different cultures, all different sizes, all different shapes, all different colors, right? That were being successful ahead of me. And I thought, if others can do it, why can't I? I thought, what else? I also thought, what else have I done in the past that I wasn't sure I could do when I started it? I went to school, I graduated, I took some courses I thought were hard, I did some sports, I won some championships, I won a game, I won a tournament, I scored a goal, right? My wife had a baby. All those ladies out there, you didn't know how to have a baby before you had a baby, right? And that was the hardest thing you've done. And the most rewarding. Was it worth it? Absolutely. You didn't know how to be a parent before you're a parent, right? So I think anyone can do this. Next slide. Is it worth it? If I put in the time and effort, will it be worth it? That's what I thought. I'll talk about that in a minute. Even though I didn't have everything figured out, all these questions right away, right? I kept at it. And here are some reasons. This is why I kept going. The reasons I kept going. Next slide, okay? The reasons I kept going. When I showed up to training and events, I saw good people doing good things, making great money. Right? When I went on field training appointments, I saw example after example of the difference we could make for families at the kitchen table, now over Zoom, right? I found that if I worked hard, if I did what's right, and I stayed focused, I got exactly what I deserved. And that should be freeing. You're gonna get exactly what you deserve here, right? So I decided to just keep going and never give up. Next slide. Was it worth it? Let me ask you, is it worth it to have complete control of your time, complete freedom of money, build the life that you want, do what you want, when you want, with who you want, where you want, right? And in the environment that you want? How would it feel so that money never controls any of your decisions? How would it feel to take each of your kids to Hawaii every single year of their lives, paid for by the best travel agent on the planet, WFG? Let me tell you, it feels awesome when you sit down with families and help them get out of debt and save money and make a plan and protect those families. It feels even better when you can help your family through helping other people. But then this is a place where you can help others achieve dreams just like yours. I believe anyone can do this if you work hard, do what's right, stay focused, and never give up. And now we're gonna have Connie Chen. She's gonna talk, she's more successful than me, and she's gonna talk about the full-time SMD and building a business journey. Connie, take it away.
Introducing Senior Executive Vice Chairman, Connie Chen.
Good morning. This is Connie Ching from San Jose, California. I'm very happy to see you guys on Zoom or in person. My slide, please. Actually, I come from a quite simple academic background. As a researcher, I deal with books more, deal with people. As a new immigrant, the only purpose I joined WFG is to learn. As a researcher, I never know what is business about. I don't have any marketing, I don't have any financial background either. But during the learning process, I'm pretty attractive from a company's education platform, and I'm pretty attractive from a leadership's passion. I'm inspired from a company's mission, no family left behind. I'm pretty inspired from a company's vision, provide business opportunity worldwide. Then I decided to do this business. After I decided to do the business, I'm pretty goal-oriented and focused. Due to this focus, I become 3 years personal producer in company, 4 years #1 base shop, and top 10 super base in whole company. I get my $500,000 ring, I get my $1 million ring, I get my $2 million ring, I become financial independent. During this progress, I really feel WFG's powerful platform really can help people to build and really change people's life and really help people to grow. You see this picture. This picture taken 2006, July 4th in San Francisco. For a young person is my team member. It's Jonathan. You maybe already hear from him, did a wonderful panel yesterday. Lina Shuai, Sandy Yu, and Wayne. Do you think any financial company can give this 4-person who just get new job or still in college any chance to try? They don't have any background. They don't have any experience. They don't have any connection. They don't have any money. But our company, WFG, did. 13 years later, 4 of them all become ring earner, $100K ring, $500,000 ring, $1 million ring. They become SMD, EMD, EVC. They not only grow their business here, they have a tremendous personal improvement as well. They become, from single, they become parents. They become the part of their family. This is only one story from my team. I see so many similar stories happening every single day in our company. This really lets me see company's power, the building power. I feel I can do here leading and impact people through my action. This really stretched my vision. I changed myself from a goal focus to growth focus. Goal focus about what you want to do, but growth focus about who you want to become. I changed my focus, and this vision gives me very clear direction and create a very strong foundation for me. Keep going as a team leader, as set a good example. This drives me create a lot of productive activities. This helps me never stop, keep going to show people this is doable. And this lets me grow as a person and as an entrepreneur. And lets me looking forward, take any challenges and overcome any adversity to become better. This also helped me to involve a better version of me by empowering my self-beliefs. Some people said they will they will be retired after they make money. Yes, if money is the destination in life, maybe after you make money, you will slow down. But if money only a tool for you to more in life, you will never want to stop. You want to keep going and relentless to run. Every single day, I remember where I come from. I have my clear why. I protect my why, and I remember my why. That's the reason every single day I'm very, very passionate, because I know through my action, many people can be helped. Many families can be helped. Many people's life can be changed. Yes, I know that every single day is still the same day. But due to your action, you will find the true peace in your heart, because you know, give back if give hopes, because you know the world become a little more beautiful because of you. I see WFG I see my life as a journey, and just like I see WFG as a journey. In this journey, there are always somebody who needs the touch of kindness, the opportunity. They always have someone who needs help. And you, me, we can be that person starting from today to give the people help, to change their life, to have a journey together. Do you think this is wonderful? Besides WFG, one of my hobbies is gardening. Every single day, I'm very busy. I'm busy on Dong to use my heart, my mind, and my knowledge to help people. I use my hand to grow my flower. I'm busy and I'm very happy because I fulfill my life. I make my life more meaningful, and I make this world more beautiful. I wish today is about time for you to make your decision, to make this year the year to close to fulfilling your vision in life, to make this year the year, give all the possibility for your life, personally and professionally. Thank you very much. I'm happy to have a journey with you together. Thank you very much.
Introducing Executive Chairman, Jeff Levitan.
Come on, everybody! Come on up! Let's hear you a little bit. Come on, can we get a whoosh going? Let's go! All right, Envision. Look, I'm so fired up right now. I got to tell you, you wouldn't think it after 26 years of doing this that someone could still be fired up. But I'm not just fired up in this, I'm fired up in life. And you know why I'm fired up in life? Because I have a clear, grand vision for my future. I have a clear, grand vision for my family's future. I actually have a clear, grand vision for this company. And believe it or not, I also have a clear, grand vision for you within this company and our future together. And that fires me up. It makes me very excited. Now, I didn't always have a grand vision. Raise your hand if you have a grand vision for your future. A lot of people struggle with this. And you know, being a broke kid from the south side of Chicago, blue-collar parents, look, we didn't sit around the kitchen table and talk about our grand vision of legacy and philanthropy and wealth and greatness. We never had that talk. It was complaining about the bills and complaining about this and complaining about that and fear and worry and doubt. When I got in this business, look, my big vision was I just need to make enough money to get out of my job. And you know, I was able to do that with this company in about 8 months. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I can make $100,000 and get one of those big fancy rings and prove all my doubters wrong. All the people that didn't follow me, all the people who said it wouldn't work, maybe I could just make enough and prove them wrong. But then my vision increased. I delivered a death benefit, and I saw how it changed that family's life. And also I saw some of my investments that I did for clients come to fruition, and they started using them for retirement. And I saw kids go to a better school because of some of the college planning I had done. And I thought, you know what, this is a great crusade. So my vision expanded, and I thought, I could be a crusader. I could go out there and do something great for families and my community and maybe this country, right? Middle America, no family left behind. And then I thought, maybe I could build a small fortune here. And so I worked even harder, and I just kept the nose to the grindstone, and in a short period of time, I was making millions of dollars. And then I thought, man, what am I going to do with these millions of dollars? I already have enough stuff. And I thought, well, maybe I could help those who can't help themselves. And I started All for One. It's an international children's charity helping the most at-risk people in the world, orphans in developing countries. And we built orphanages and schools and clinics with the money earned from WFG. So a lot of people, whoever ever criticizes this, that they don't know what we're up to. They don't know what we're really doing and all the difference we've made in the world. So look, why don't people have this big vision? Why do people struggle with the vision in their life? I'll tell you why. It's because they went all in before in something and it didn't work out. They put their heart on the line. They loved like never before and someone broke their heart, right? And they're like, what do they say? I'm never going to love again. Anyone ever have their heart broken in this room? Yeah, no, nobody. That's great. I'm glad all of you are so excellent at crushing it in relationships. But look, some people aren't, and they get crushed. And then other people start a business or they go all in a sport and they get injured, and now there goes their vision of their future being a professional athlete. So something happens, they get crushed, their belief is challenged, and then they stop. And you know what they say? I'm just never going to go all in again. How's that going to work out, everybody? We only have a short, finite period of time called our life. And as soon as you start settling, and as soon as you start giving up, man, what is your future going to look like then? But more importantly, what's your children's future going to look like? What's your grandchildren, what's your legacy going to look like at this point? So you've got to have a grand vision, and it needs to be an ever-increasing vision. I met a lot of people, they came here quickly. A lot of you are in the room. Man, they won fast. They just seemed to be excellent at this, and then they settled. They just cooled out. They said, I think I've got enough stuff, and they didn't increase their vision to keep them moving on and on and on so that they can keep increasing, like an Eric Olson or a Raja or a Swan who just keeps grinding it out and growing into that vision that they have for their future. And then there's the biggest factor. It's the belief. It's the belief. Do you know that depression comes from worrying about your past? And do you know anxiety comes from worrying about your future? And so both of those things have one word in common, and it's worry. And where does worry and fear come from? It's the lack of faith. It's the lack of belief. There was a study done in 1957 at Harvard. A Dr. Kurt Richter. It was they used animals and it was a little cruelty, but the study showed something incredible. They took rats, lab rats, and they put them in a glass bowl of water. And they put them in there to see how long they could survive and live treading water. And do you know, on average, a lot of rats died for this study, but on average, they lasted 15 minutes. So that was the control group. Then for the experiment, you know what they did next? They put the rats in, and just before they drowned, they plucked them out, dried them off, let them rest up for a few minutes, and then they put them back in. And then they had to watch and see how long they lasted then. You know how long they lasted? What do you think they lasted after all that? Another 15 minutes maybe, because they're already exhausted? Maybe 10, only 5? You know how long they lasted when they put them back in? 60 hours. 60 hours. And they came to a conclusion. It was the elimination of hopelessness that kept them alive. The belief that they were going to get plucked out before they died kept them gave them supernatural powers to keep swimming, to keep treading water, because they knew it was going to work out at the end. And I see in life, with so many people here, not just in this group, but everywhere in the world, a lot of people are walking around with hopelessness, in fear, in worry, and they lack that vision for what their life could be. And they need to give it a try one more time. I want to challenge you out there, wherever you are, give it one more shot. Like, go all in something and see how it works out. Test yourself. We all have the same fate anyway. We're all going to die at some point in our life, and it's all going to be over. And all that's going to matter is how big you played the game. It doesn't mean you have to be super wealthy or you have to be super famous. Whatever that is, just go all in. Be the best father, the best mother, the best son or daughter to your parents, whatever. Just do your best. And don't be harbored by fear. So in conclusion, I'm going to challenge you to do two things. Number one, create a grand vision of greatness for yourself and your family. And then number two, believe wholeheartedly that you're going to accomplish that vision. God bless all of you. We'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. All right.
At Transamerica and World Financial Group, we are known for blazing new paths and opening new doors every day. And so we shift to strengthening and reestablishing bonds with our customers, their families, and the communities where we live, work, and play. Transamerica is helping financial professionals grow, introducing new products and new ways of doing business, and most importantly, changing our approach with a consumer and technology-focused future. With new leadership, a bold new vision, and a steadfast commitment to becoming a top 5 player in the life insurance industry, we're creating a brighter picture for everyone to be a part of.
All right, if you're excited, let me hear you. And this is good. Okay, so our next two speakers, I'm super excited to introduce them. The first one, this is a big deal. Brian Loiso has been in the business 22 years. I just talked to him backstage. He's closing in on $1.5 million in cash flow. Can I hear that? That's pretty awesome, right? And then I had to confirm this information. If there aren't any ladies in the house, let me hear you. First female $1 million earner ever. This is Teresa Tang Wong, all the way from Canada. Give it up for our next two speakers, Teresa Tang Wong and Brian Loiso.
Introducing Senior Executive Vice Chairman, Teresa Tang Wong.
Whoosh! Boom! Awesome. I'm very excited today. This is my lifetime hybrid convention. Is it amazing? And in order to make myself physically appear in here, I've gone through a lot of trouble, a lot of things in order from Canada, fly through to here. It cost me a lot of extra money, but to WFG leaders, right? All is EVC here, I believe. Money is not an issue to you. If money can solve those issues, that is not an issue. That's why I depend on that. Okay, let me go through all those government rules, right? I need to take this and take that and all those things. Even though I go back to Canada yesterday, I still have to book those tests in my room in order to Canada allow me to go in. And after that, I need 14 days quarantine at home. But now it's amazing, right? Zoom. I don't need to go to office to work anyway. Correct, right, guy? I love that. I love WFG. My slide, please. That is my story. Before WFG, if I still work at my own MGA, my brokerage, I cannot do what I can do today. I don't think so, right? That is my brokerage. I was a broker. I was an MGA before I joined WFG 21 years ago. Time flies, 21 years now. That is my whole family, right? All my 3 children and my niece, they are SMD in WFG. Is it amazing? Right? My 2 sons is 100,000 ring earner. They are going to be like Corey and Cameron Michelle, right? Bill Michelle has 2 sons. I also have 2 sons. I told Tom, my dream is my 2 sons will be just like Biel. going to inherit my business, going to be EVC in WFG, going to making 7-digit income. And then as a mom, I don't need to worry about that. Is it amazing? Only WFG can give me this chance. Even though I'm running my own brokerage, no, it's hard. How can they be the major producer? How can? Why WFG? There's a real true reason. I was running an insurance brokerage, right? And with 13 agents. Usually, when you're running a team in the traditional industry, you usually have 10. You can manage 10 agents. That is the capacity, the maximum capacity. As a manager, it can manage. But I'm very good. I'm 30% more, but still only 3 more. Is that amazing? Before that, I feel, wow, TTW, you are amazing. But after WFG, I say, wow, you are sucks, right? So that is, I'm making $500,000 income. I think it's amazing in Canada. That is 21 years ago, making $500,000. I feel so proud. I feel myself like that, right? But after WFG, wow, guy, I just pumped with yesterday with Rocky Shi. He said, I feel so ashamed. I just making $5 million. I said, can you imagine that? $5 million. And while I was making $500,000, I think I'm so proud. Like this. Correct, guys? That is WFG, right? But income is good, even though $500,000 21 years ago is amazing. But that is not good is I was the major producer. I need to actively work to fulfill the contract quota. There's a quota. I need to meet it. If I don't meet it every single year, I lost my MGA contract because there's a line up waiting list to be an MGA. But WFG, we don't need to worry about quota. All we need to is how to train our people, right? How to lead them to the system and let them submit to the system, and the system will run their business. And now WFG is so amazing. STC, our Barry, come in to help us to be a trainer. And I did that. I trained my base shop. It's so amazing. I thought, oh, I was a technology idiot. That's why I was so nervous, right? I need my technology assistant help me, right? How to do that STC training. But after I started training, I feel so good. I just kick. I just say a little bit thing according to the script and kick and kick. I just need to make sure my finger don't be ruined. Make sure my finger can kick. That's all the STC. Is it amazing? Right? That's why I'm so excited. The worst thing for me, I not only was actively the producer, but I raising my competitor. I raising my enemy. My top producer came to me. I need them because I need to fulfill the quota, right? But when they are good and they come in to ask me more raise, and then even though I raise all to them, and then they still say, no, Teresa, that is my resignation letter. I want to be you. I want to open a brokerage. I want to override the other people. Can you imagine that? But WFG, if I ask my leader, right, to quit, they won't, correct? But still, I use 3 months to make my decision to jump from $500,000 to WFG because I have the vision. I see that, right, WFG, I can double my income, but my honey, he is here, mad at me, didn't talk to me for 2-3 months, right? He doesn't agree with me, but I told him, that is what I told him. WFG is very amazing business contract and compensation, right? As long as you are MD and up, you will have the contract vested. And also SMD, you are business owner. You start to own your business. And because they have a system, sky is the limit. No glass ceiling at all. Even though MGA, I have the glass ceiling too, right? And WFG is the bonus system. we have the SMD base job, executive level, and performance bonus. Is it amazing, right? So, believe in the system because the system can help us to recruit and put them through the system, put them through the STA, and we will be there. The key to my success in WFG is 100% believe in the system, all in. When I came in, I'm full force. I don't skeptical. My skeptical period is before that, okay? So I come in, I shut down, burn my bridge, and all full-time in WFG at the very beginning. So entrepreneur mindset is very important. That's why I become the first female hitting the 1 million as what John introduced me. I'm so excited. And the system is duplicate to growth and not to compete. Everybody win. Right? So the system is Fortune 100. You just have 100 name lists. For me, I follow the system, right? And then I have 30 base shop recruit in the first month, and you have 35 recruit, you are MD. If you have 100 recruit in your base, you walk into SMD. Is it amazing? Right? So I know this is, I fast, okay? I think that you guys watch this slide all the time. So that is what teamwork is together, each achieve more, but WFG is another level for team. The entrepreneurial awesomeness magnifier, that is the Canadian team, together with my sideline, right? Syed and his lovely wife. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
My name's Will, and I'm dead. And while my family is a bit upset, they're not stressed, because I made the incredibly smart move of signing up for Everest. It's a funeral concierge rolled into a life insurance plan. They ask you a few questions, learn exactly what you want and don't want, then negotiate directly with funeral homes, so you know that your family isn't getting taken advantage of.
Thank you, Will.
No problemo.
Wherever you are.
They can't hear me.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Brian Luiso.
Come on. Hey, I am so excited to be with everybody here today. Convention 2021, it's like nothing we've ever seen before. And it's just so good to be able to be back and give some of my friends hugs here after that last year. What a challenge, and we've come through this thing incredibly. So congratulations, WFG, for this. Let's hear it. Hey, I'm gonna spend a little time talking about my journey to World Financial Group. And it's kind of took a circuitous route, to say the least. And I'm probably no different than most people in here, everybody watching. I was searching. I was searching for a better career. I was searching for a more fulfilling life. I was searching to be able to do something that I thought was more significant. And it took me finding WFG to really be able to envision my future. You know, it is a big world, and it is full of big opportunities. Just to give you a little bit of a background where I came from, all throughout college, I so much wanted to see the world. In fact, if you had asked me in college, what do you want to do with your life? It probably wasn't a profession. It was just I wanted to travel. There was this huge globe, and I wanted to see it. I wanted to experience different cultures. I wanted to be all over the world, and I was just looking for a vehicle that would allow me to do that. And I actually found that vehicle with the world's largest accounting firm, the world's largest consulting firm, a firm by the name of Andersen Worldwide. Unbelievable opportunity, and I have to tell you, I just had a great time there for 8 or 9 years. I'm going to get into a little bit about that. What did I do at Andersen? Well, you name it, I had about a decade worth of experience. I did IPOs, you know, when companies go public. I took companies public. I did a lot of M&A. Mergers and acquisitions, got a lot of fancy words for a lot of billable hours. I did process improvement work and consulting projects literally all over this planet. And the Andersen gave me exactly what I wanted out of my career. I was able to see the world. I had a passport full of stamps. I traveled to dozens of countries, and it was just a fascinating career for about 8 or 9 years. And then I started really questioning some things. My key objective at Anderson was to help companies, not people, companies. I help companies make more money. I help them go public. I help them do just about anything more efficiently. And I really enjoyed that. But then about 8 or 9 years into it, I started questioning, is this really what I want to do when I, quote unquote, grow up? And, you know, it was interesting. I call it my existential crisis. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that flight from Miami, Florida to Lima, Peru. I remember seat 2A on American Airlines. I remember that overnight flight. I remember looking out the window while the rest of the world slept. The rest of the plane was snoring. And I just looked out that window saying, I gotta think about doing something different because I don't know if I'm really happy anymore. And I believe I made that decision on that flight. Miami, Florida, Lima, Peru on American Airlines. And I got back and I started questioning everything. I questioned everything I did. What am I doing? Why am I really here? And I believe that probably most people in WFG have gone through something very similar to this. What am I doing that's of really any significance? What's the end game? And what am I really running so fast after? And ultimately, am I truly happy? At the end of that, this question, this existential crisis, I started thinking, you know, something, I'm going to do something different. So this was in April of 2000. I talked to the partners. I made the announcement in April that I was going to be leaving Anderson. And they, of course, couldn't believe it. And I wanted to follow my dreams. I wanted to do something totally different. And I told them that my last day was going to be August 31st of 2000. I spent that summer getting licensed, learning the products, learning how to invite somebody wherein they would actually show up to a BPM, how to actually deliver a BPM, all those different things. I learned it that summer. And then just a couple of weeks before my last day, August 31st of 2000, my fiance gave me the best, Mary, you all know Mary. She gave me the ultimate, the timeless entrepreneur manual. Yes, it's Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. And inside that front cover, there was inscribed a note talking about how exciting it's going to be, how there's going to be ups, how there's going to be downs. But ultimately, how much she believed that this was going to be our vehicle to have a great life together. And so I took that and I launched. And yes, it can be a scary journey. The ocean has a lot of scary places in it. We all know about that. And I'm just going to share with you some of my fears. I had so many fears of the unknown, such as, will there be a support system? I want everybody to know here, when you jump, the net appears. People had told me that, but I mean when you really jump, not just put your big toe in, when you jump, nets appear. And there's an incredible support system. We just heard from Tom. We heard about what Transamerica is going to be doing in Aegon, the home office, our field leaders, the wholesalers. They teach us everything we need to know. There's an incredibly robust support system here. Will I be challenged? If you like to be challenged, this is the place for you, bar none. Because everything we do here challenges you as an entrepreneur. Will I be able to compete? I love competing at Anderson Worldwide. I loved it. What will the competition be here? Well, we already know. Leaders Bulletin, your personal best. We have statistics that measure just about everything. And of course, you know, we have the company incentive trips. We have all those different things that tell you if you're on track for the right thing. So of course you'll be able to compete. What about, well, I know if I'm really progressing. Absolutely, you'll know you're progressing. You can know it, you can see it, you can feel it, you're going to absolutely know it. The team environment, our DNA is based on teams. You're never alone. You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself, and that's so great, and that sense of belonging was great. Also, people they still to this day ask me, what was your greatest fear when you left Anderson? Honestly, my greatest fear was being alone. And I was so concerned about that. I felt like I was going to be this guy in the office just doing deals and getting checks, the furthest things from the truth. This is a culture based on teamwork. Can I be passionate about this career? Helping others, you will never lose the passion for WFG. To the extent you're helping others, you will never lose the passion. And ultimately, what's my personal identity going to be like? What kind of a legacy am I going to be leaving? Well, I believe that the WFG identity goal is, a lot of people say I'm a plumber, an electrician, I'm an accountant, I'm a lawyer. They talk about their identity based on what they do. We at WFG talk about who we become. I am this, I am the tomorrow maker, I am the change agent. And that is something that I certainly get fired up about. Our central question for each of us is, what is your legacy going to be? Our career legacy, quite simply, is we help clients that are people that are better off because of what we do. We help people, entrepreneurs, which is just fantastic, build huge teams, a growing team of entrepreneurs. You'll never get tired of that. And ultimately, we have children, our legacy, that know what their moms and dads do, and we serve with passion. And that's the kind of legacy I want to have. My belief is that a majority of people in North America, they need us. They have dreams unfulfilled. They have a desire to be challenged. They want to compete again. They want to make a difference. They want to be part of a team. They want to be passionate on Monday morning to go to work again, and ultimately they want to create a legacy, quite simply. Yes, it is a big world, and yes, it's full of big opportunities, but I believe in my heart that there's not a better opportunity than this place called World Financial Group. Just remember, a final reminder, you can do this. Remember that you're never going to be alone here. And please remember as well, you're going to help change lives through helping people, the divine irony of WFG. You belong here. Have a great rest of the convention. We'll see you at the top.
All right. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Teresa. Awesome messages and some awesome value. I'm excited to introduce the next couple of speakers that are from Canada. The first one, Rohit Mehta, and this is why I'm not doing the recognition. I get stuck on some words sometimes, and it seems to stretch out for a long time. But anyways, Rohit Mehta, 31 years old, been in Canada for 10 years, started in WFG back in 2014. And check this out, 500 licensed agents in his organization, 16 people making over six figures, and his $1.7 million per year. Again, started in 2014. So you're going to learn a lot from him. Then the second speaker is a good friend of mine. I call him, he's one of the founders of Canada. His name is Dave Limpert. He's a father of two, executive vice chairman, and I owe a lot to Dave. I was born and raised in his office. I learned a lot from him. And Dave, you've had a lot of your fingerprint in a lot of people's lives, including our family's life. And I want to thank you for that. So if you guys can help me welcome our next two speakers from Canada, thank you very much, guys.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Rohit Mehta.
Thank you. Good day, all. My name is Rohit Mehta, and I'm from Toronto, Canada. It is my honor and privilege to be at this event today. That was a day I was waiting from last 7 years. I want to start from thanking Almighty God for this grace, and my family, and my partner Shubh Sandhu, because without her I would not be here. But at the same time, the leadership, my mentors Vikas and Mukta Thapar. Then we have Harinder and Jagjo Sukhija. At the same time, Terry Johal, Raja Dhaliwal. But most importantly as well, Dream Builder family. My agency, my team. Thank you so much for trusting me. Came from a very humble beginnings. My dad was a factory worker. Back in India. Mom passed away when I was 6 years old. So living in a 2-bedroom mud house where 1 bedroom is rented, and on other room we are like my father and we are 3 brothers, and we lived like that for 10 years. I wanted to be a sportsman all my life. Got an injury, never was able to play, and at age of 16 I had to quit my study. All my life I was being average. I had inferior complex. Was always blaming God that why me, why our family. At age of 21, opportunity to come to Canada came. And, it required to study $10,000, and all we had was $6,000. So $4,000, my fee, the airfare, even the baggage I brought was borrowed from my friends and family. So I did not have the luxury that a lot of other people have. Graduated, I was a medical student with $19,000 debt and started working 3 jobs, over 100 hours per week. And then 2014, World Financial Group came in my life. I had 3 jobs, super introvert, no car, no market, was on a work permit that time, but I had the desire. I had the desire to do something significant for my family, especially for my dad, because he devoted all his life, and he's our God. And it took when I started in the company, it took me 6 months. Yes, I'm saying it right. 6 months to get my first recruit in the business. It took me 58 rejections before I got my first recruit. 9 months to become an associate. And in all this time, I was blaming the company, blaming the product, the circumstances, and the people. And then 2014 Vegas Convention came. Went there as a trainee associate. My life changed. That day, God talked to me directly. God says, you know what? You don't deserve to play sports and attract fans. You deserve to impact people's lives. That day, I realized someone's opinion about me does not have to become my reality. And I saw if this company can recognize the way they did, I can do and die for this company. That day, I understood life is all about purpose. And I found my purpose that day. And then, come full time. And then 2017, the best thing happened in the business. My partner, Shubh Sandhu, she quit her nursing career. Everyone was saying, you guys are making the wrong step. She quit her nursing career. My best friend, my life partner, my business partner. And since then, our business had tripled. She's the backbone of our business, building the business together, rubbing the shoulders together. In the beginning, she take care of licensing. Then she took care of operational. And last year, she decided, let's rub the shoulders together. And baby, let's do the field work. And then 1 + 1 became 11. So she's the best friend in my life and the best business partner I can ever ask for. But the major push happened in our life is in last 15 months when we went from $500,000 income to 1.7 and 2 million annual profit to 8 million. But how it happened? It reminded me a story. There was a rabbit who was running in the rain and then he heard a frog making a desperate noise. When he found the frog in the hole, he asked the frog, what happened? Frog said, I fell in the hole. I'm not able to come out. I'm trying my best. All I have is small food. And he said, wait, let me bring a ladder. So when he returned, bringing a ladder, frog was already out. How he was out, and he was surprised. Frog said, when rabbit went out to grab a ladder, a snake came. A snake came in the hole, and frog has two choices, either to lose life or to give everything that they can. Same happened to us, my friend. You and I, we have limited beliefs based on what we see, what we heard, and what we experience. COVID has forced us to change our belief, come out of our comfort zone to bring the best, otherwise we'll be left behind. They always say necessity is the mother of invention. But guess what? Adversity is the mother, brother, sister, father, everything for forced reinvention. See, we all have advanced 5 years, my friend. Tesla drives, Zoom thrives. Part-time agent can still have full-time hour. There's no excuse of not winning at the highest level. This is 21st century. It is not about industrial age or information age. It is all about sharing age. How fast you can share the information with others. This is how big business you can build. See, Amazon, Uber, Airbnb, they all give people an opportunity to buy stuff at their home, become a self-employed, or build a business out of it. Same way, but you and I are doing it. People can become our client, working at their home, become a self-employed agent, or build a business out of it. Can you imagine? Pre-COVID, we had struggles with time, fast start, training, no show up, traveling. Now, none of those things are there. People can work from home, full balanced life. You can do 5, 7, 8 meetings a day and still have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with your family. You can travel to Hawaii and still build a big base shop. Since childhood, we all wanted a time machine to travel in that time. And that time machine is called Zoom to Boom. You can go East Coast to West Coast in seconds. You don't have 24 hours. We have 28 hours in a day. I know it sounds too good to be true, but guess what? It is actually true. See, recruiting is easy. Serving is easy. Building is easy. But the problem is believing is hard. My friend, the biggest challenge in the business is to make people believe that they can win one day. See, my friend, we normally tend not to appreciate the things until they are gone. See, lifestyle has changed, not the life. Now you and I, we start appreciating nature, oxygen. We start becoming more grateful, understood the best thing happened to us is us. And all the biggest asset of life is we are alive. That is the biggest asset. And the quiet time brought the clarity that is nothing bigger than humanity. And the flexibility window can shut down any time, temporary or permanently. There is so much promise for tomorrow. And someday, you and I, we will look back and cherish the moments we learn this pandemic, and we will, cherish those moments. What are the improvements to make in this time? There are so many, but what I consider to become better tomorrow than you are today, it is all about how well we deal with distraction. Distraction, laziness, family friend problem, financial problem, relationship problem, new car, new home. People have a bad habit to give everything their time, and everything that comes to them, it happened in their life, it gives them another excuse of not finishing that finish line, and they give excuse about their situation. In the success battlefield, my friend, there's only one enemy, and that enemy is within. An enemy that knows all your weakness, your fear, knows everything about you, what you crave, and everything that slows you down, and never stop using them against you. If you win from enemy within, enemy outside cannot do you any harm. Enemy is very kind. It says to you internally, you should take day off. You work too hard. It is okay to play average. You can do only so much. It is okay. It was not your fault. It might be a bad luck. Money is not everything. My friend, good intentions are not good action. To wrap up, this is the time to step up. This is the opportunity you and we were waiting for. Accept it is possible. Adjust your focus. Avoid all the distraction, and become the best actor, director, and the producer of the best movie called The Life. See, lastly, my friend, if God has his hand on you, WFG has a platform for you. Leaders have believed in you, and your family have hope from you. When will be the time when everyone is starting to bet on you? When will be the time you will bet on yourself? So wherever you are sitting right now, I want all of you to stand up. Stand up where I'm sitting right now. Touch your heart, and I'm going to say 2 times, rest of the year, and you're going to say best of the year. Touch your heart, stand up. Rest of the year, the best of your year. Rest of your year, the best of your year. With this, thank you so much, Abu.
Hello, WFG. My name is Noel Mack of Canada Protection Plan. Thank you for trusting us to be your party provider and to be part of this event as well. At Canada Protection Plan, we provide insurance solutions for your healthiest and to your hard-to-insure client at a very affordable rate. We are also backed by Forces Financial, which has been in business for almost 150 years. We are in business to help you with your clients to ensure no family left behind. Enjoy the rest of the event, and thank you very much, and see you all at the top.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Dave Limpert.
Hey, that's a good effect. Hand into the camera like that. Good morning, WFG. How are we? I'm all the way from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, here in our office in a side room. I just love this technology that's been going on. Cam, thank you for the great introduction, buddy. Boy, do I remember those early years, pal, when you first came in and we were all learning in that first Calgary office, I guess the second one. But I love those early days, buddy. It takes me back to a lot of the defining moments we all had back then. I'm going to go through a few of my defining moments because that got me thinking, Cam, when you talked about that earlier today. And a few of the defining moments, I'm on okay? Yeah, the defining moments that I had early on in the business. But man, the stories that I've been listening to this morning just take me back. It's been 23 years since the second major defining moment I ever had in my life happened. 23 years. How does time fly by that fast? First defining moment I had, of course, was when I was standing on the street in a little town of 234 people. I'm from a farming, ranching community. My family's actually farm and ranched in Alberta since 1903. So we're into 100 and almost 20 years now. My family still runs that farm and ranch business. But I was standing on that little street in that little town, and I remember looking from one end to the other, and there wasn't a car on the street. And I thought, how am I ever going to get to where I want to go in life if I stay here? And I knew a major move had to happen. So I gathered up, the few things I had in one suitcase, actually, threw it in the back of my GMC Chevy truck, and I went off to the big city. I'd been there a couple times, but nobody I knew had ever gone from our area, from the small towns and the farming community to the big city. So off I went. I was full of dreams. I was going to go to this big city. I was going to find out, other business could run alongside of farming and ranching. And I was going to like hit the major leagues, right? I was going to prove all my buddies wrong. All my friends had said, man, you go to that city, it's going to chew you up and spit you out. You need to stay here. You need to stay in the box. The crowd's got to keep you in the box. But away I went anyways, right? I got in there and I jumped on some heavy equipment because it was all I knew how to do. I had to make land payments, but I had dreams, man. I remember coming out of school when you had all your buddies linked in your arms, right? You're going to go conquer the world. And I hit about 25, 28, and all I was doing was conquering the barbecue in my backyard. And I thought, it's not going to happen here for me. I got to get somewhere where it can happen. So I came to the big city and I started looking around. And over 2 or 3 or 4 years, I started to get very discouraged because I'm going exactly what my friends told me. This city, I know nothing about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I remember sitting at home one night and I was looking in a mirror on the wall. Most of you have heard this. I was looking in this mirror on the wall and I didn't recognize that guy anymore. And I thought, I guess I'm just going to go home. I guess everybody was right. I started to listen to that environment around me, all those voices, that were putting doubt in my mind. And I thought, I'm just going to go home. But I got to go back in tomorrow morning because I got 2 other buddies that I was in business with here. There was actually 4 of us. Carl had moved to Nanaimo. The other 3 of us were in an office here in Calgary, and we were trying to break into the industry. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go there one more time tomorrow. And that next day, when I just went there one more time, my world changed forever. A man by the name of Monty Holm walked into our little office, drew a little picture. It was actually kind of my first BPM. Remember, the BPM is the heart blood of your business. This was just like a little 1-on-3 BPM, and he drew a picture. I remember like it was like yesterday, and it'll be 23 years coming up October 3rd. And I looked at that picture, and I remember looking up at the other 2 guys in the room, and we looked at each other, and you could see it in our eyes. This is it. This is what we want to build. And of course, it was Monty walking in with the WFG ID and the WFG story. So what's it look like 23 years later? Well, every Tuesday, every Saturday, every Tuesday, every Saturday for 22 years, we ran that BPM, almost identical to what I saw that day. That story, that vision of what could be built, what can be done in Canada, what can be done all over North America, how anybody from any walk of life, doesn't matter where you come from, electrician, plumber, firefighter, nurse, farmer, teachers, everybody can have a look at this. And I, like the speakers before us, believe that anybody can win here, Paxton. You said it. Anybody can win here, right? If you just follow the system. I, Dave Limpert, am a product of this system. More than anything, I'm a product of the event flow system. I've understood the daily event, to the weekly event, to the monthly event, to the quarterly event, the semi, all the way to this annual event, and I have never missed an event. Monty Holm told me, Dave, if you want to win at this, it's a simple system. You just never miss an event. You just put down all the WFG events that are in your calendar for the year. You make sure you're at every one of them. You always be where you're supposed to be. I want you to write that down. He told me in the very early days, he said, always be where you're supposed to be, because you don't know when people that are going to come into your life and change your life forever are going to show up. And I followed that philosophy forever. So now it's 22 years later last year, and the world changes again. Now the old meets new. Now we've gone from Tuesday, Saturday to heck, we started with a platform where we were doing it the BPM 5 times a week, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now we got another platform that's kind of on demand, and the world is changing so fast in front of me as we're growing, keeping up and setting record quarters. It's unbelievable. The old business of relationships and building meets the new world of technology, and together the two of them, if you understand them, and the two of them must fit together, greatness will be achieved in a quarter or a third of the time that it took us to do it 23 years ago. But I want to tell you what I've loved most about the last 23 years. It's the people. It's taking that new couple and talking to them and showing them a future and getting them to believe in their future. that it can be totally different, right? It's those new baby faces. When they look at me, they go, Dave, do you think this can really be done? And I start selling them a dream. I start selling them a vision. Here's what it's going to look like in 1 year. Here's what it's going to look like in 3 years. Here's what it's going to look like in 5 years. Heck, here's what it's going to look like in 10 years, right? As long as they just let the event flow system, the system run their business and just surrender to it and let it do the work, right? And that's what I love the most. The other thing I love the most is how you can change a community. I moved to a new community 12 years ago called Okotoks, Alberta. And then the thing I've enjoyed the most about that is no matter what I get involved in, whether it be the sports teams there, whether it be like the municipal districts, whether it be the building of the subdivisions outside the round, it's just seeing the lights come on in their minds as you help people think different and see what the future can bring, right? And teach them that people, time is limited. Our time is limited. And what WFG has given me is true freedom, because true freedom comes from being in charge of your time, doing what you want, like Paxton said, right? Just getting up every day knowing that, hey, time is our limited commodity and I'm in total control of it. Freedom does not come from financial. It comes from freedom of time. Thank you very much for your time today. Let's rock and roll this thing. Let's set another 5 quarters. All right, see you at the top.
Hi, I'm Pamela Brown. I've been working at the same job almost 39 years of my life. My husband and I wanted children and weren't blessed with a child until I turned 40. We'd been living off of 2 incomes, but now at that point, we went down to 1. We had enough money to buy a house, but not much else. I went to the banks and asked for some assistance, banks we'd dealt with for decades, and was laughed out of the office. As luck would have it, a young man came to our door and said, "Would you like to learn more about how to make your money work for you?" And we said yes. He was a part of Betty Agnew's team. She took on our account and was so authentic and open and didn't make us feel like we were stupid for not investing when we were in our 20s. She just found a way to help us get going. And it's a blessing that she did. Because in 2015, my husband passed away and his insurance basically saved the house, saved my daughter's future, my future. We wouldn't have had that if we were depending entirely on the banks. She not only helped us with all of the paperwork that needed to be done to take care of his business affairs, but let me know that if I needed some help in any other way, she was there. My advice to any young family just starting out would be to find a way to secure your future. Even if you invest small, start somewhere. You can do the same with your insurance.
All right, everybody, let's get ready for some recognition. This is an awesome part of the event, but before I get a chance to introduce some wonderful friends and leaders to walk up to the stage, I got to share with you a quick little story. So I remember when I got the agenda from Christina and Susan, and I started looking over the whole agenda. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the awards part. That means I have to list off some names. So I start panicking right away. I send a message off back going, am I going to have to do this? Because like, here's how it works when I do our hierarchy event is I'm not allowed to do the recognition anymore. I was taking way too long. See, someone that has a stuttering impediment, I don't know sometimes what you're going to get. Sometimes it's fluent, sometimes it's not. And we had this one event once, and Corey, he pulled me aside and said, listen, dude, you can't do this anymore, man. Like, you're taking a lot of time in the agenda, because I kept getting stuck on words. So I was really happy for all of you when I realized I'd only have to list 5 names. And I want to do that right now. I want to go and ask these next 5 people to come up on stage. Vivian and Louis Olero, Zhong Shi, Corey Michaud, Randy Sicaros, and Elizabeth Tang and David Lin. Please help me welcome these wonderful leaders up to the stage. All right, you guys, the category that we are going to recognize a bunch of champions in here right now are the $1 million and above, are the $1 million and up earners since the last convention. So this is really, really exciting.
Now recognizing your new $1 million ring earners since September 2020. Bart Balikian, Mario Bayona, Michael Coleman, John Cordero, Nelia Destacamento, Joswinder Dillon, Richard Gottenbos, Maricel Goyena, Trevor Jensen, Anna Lee, Ying Lin, Sandeep Manhas, Paul Joku, Zach Rance, Kanwaldeep Sanhu, Jackie Tam, Tang Tang Tang, Yaobang Wu. Now recognizing your new $1,500,000 ring earners since September 2020. Martin Quende, Dave Limpert, Rohit Mehta, Zhuzhe Zhang. Now recognizing your new $2 million ring earner since September 2020. Dave Boucheri, Daniel Fombo, Simon Lamb, Levi Mboni, Jamie Villalobos, now recognizing your new $3 million ring earner since September 2020. Terry Johal, Harinder Sukija, now recognizing your new $5 million ring earner since September 2020. Andy Nguyen, now recognizing your new $7 million ring earner since September 2020. Rial Michaud, Now recognizing your new $8 million ring earner since September 2020. Eric Olson. Now recognizing your new $10 million plus ring earner since September 2020. Swan Nguyen.
Wow, that's just absolutely amazing. You think of all the families, help is just absolutely incredible. Like this was since last September. And we got 3 more since the end of June that I want to go and recognize, 3 more. So Kanwar Paul Jaj, he just crossed over $1 million in income. So congratulations. At $1.5 million, you heard him here earlier, my very good friend, Mr. Paxton Frick. So congratulations, buddy. And new $5 million earner, Rocky Shi. Congratulations to all of you. And awesome. Very well done. Thank you, John. All right, John, I'm going to pass things back on to you. And man, I wish I was there to high five all of those leaders who have hit some tremendous milestones. But hey, John, I'm passing it back to you.
All right. Hey, let me get you guys to stand up. One time. Get up. Let me hear it one time, a little louder. Come on. Woo, that was pretty awesome. All right, I get the pleasure of introducing our next 2 speakers. You just saw him. $5 million. Make some noise, $5 million. Rocky Shi, we were in Tahiti, 2011, hit his $1 million ring. That's the first time I saw him. We were together, he didn't even buy me a bag. $1 million at that time, 10 years later, $5 million. He said today, by the way, 25 years in the business, and he will do 10 push-ups in front of you today. Because he wants to go to 10 million. All right, so that's that. And then our next speaker, following him, great friends. They were leading the registrations. 7 years in the business, Kim and Maricel Goyena, new $1 million earners. I gotta say that they're probably one of the pioneers of Zoom. One of the first ones to actually launch and get into it. I can't wait to hear from these 2 speakers. Everybody get up and give your speakers a big hand. Rocky Shi and Maricel Goyena and Kim Goyena.
Introducing Executive Chairman, Rocky Shi.
A whoosh to all the EVC, that's wonderful. Hello, oh yeah, my PowerPoint, look at the power and the point. Engineer, so this is my engineering book. Where's my, Who are the engineers here? Raise your hand. You know, I have a list of all the engineers in this crowd, not include the scientists. But today, I want to share with all the new engineers, scientists. Let's have a talk. And these are the people famous. In my team, we call the champion team. Here we have a 9 engineer background. So engineer love engineers, and I love you. Let's see. We do research a lot. Here shows software engineer, 15-year experience, average income, $138,000 per year. You have to work for 15 years. But in WFG, we can find out Tier 1, that's SMD, 3-year, average 65,000. Tier 2, EMD, 4 to 7 years, 284,000. And the Tier 3, CEO, 8 to 10 years, average more than $500,000. My own, the first few years, 1996 to like 5 years is practice for me. I'm a very slow start. I did not get my license the first 14 months, but I did recruit a lot. At that time, Swan, Rich, they said recruiting, so I keep recruiting. I have 250 people. I don't have a license. But the people are most important, right? And then the next 10 years, I made about 5 million total 10 years. And then the next 10 years, 30 million. Oh, by the way, just hit the $5 million. So 1 year is like a 10 years, right? So I imagine what about the next 10 years? Hold your time. Hey, we know, let's recall Mark Twain. He said there are 2 most important days in your life. Are the day you are born, and the day you find out why. You know, I was 26 years old when I gave a presentation for people, 66 countries. I'm quite good academic background. I feel very good, but I don't think that's the most important day for me. So I came to America. This is the graduation PhD. Background is Bloomberg, because Bloomberg from Johns Hopkins University. I feel good, but I don't think that's the most important day for me. I'm confused. I wrote this book. In 42 days, I can be very intensive. Yeah, this is my book. So I feel quite good, but still I don't think that's the most important day. So what I have to do? After I got my PhD, I have to find a job. So I found a job hunter. They recruited me. That company, still there, right? They sent me to Citibank to work. Later, I found out for every hour I work, Citibank pay air tag $100. They pay me $36. I don't know how much I generated for Citibank. They told me 3 to 4 times what they pay, right? WFG is transparent, but the engineers don't even know how much they take you. So I'm a research guy. Luckily, a classmate brought me to the BPM in 1996, October 12th. The financial concept is simple, clear, practical, and powerful, much more useful than my 4 months economic class. Here I said, oh my God, I got A+ in my economic class, but here, suddenly hit me. You know, later turned out to be the BPM day is the most important day for me. I wish that the day can be important for many of you. Today, we have a lot of new people. Welcome you. Why? I'm a research guy. At the beginning, they said, okay, if you want to do business, you have to recruit. I said, what is recruit? I checked the dictionary. Looks like a military. But later we found out, oh, of course, all company recruits people he who win man prosper. We know that part. So I begin recruit. I do research again, wealth distribution. Like in America, a lot of countries we know is a hierarchy. Everywhere is a hierarchy. But the money-wise is upside down hierarchy. Less people take more money. Like here, you see, 50% of the bottom people had only 2% of the total asset. And the top 1% take 31% of the total asset. That's the reality. What about in WFG? Well, I will show you later, but I remember the Declaration of Independence. Suppose all men are created equal, but it's not, we know. But the WFG, all men are created equal. Do you think so? Give yourself a big hand. Okay, research. WFG, we have a hierarchy. But the WFG, we have another hierarchy for here. More people have more money, less people have less money. We don't have a billionaire, but we are going to have a lot of millionaires. That's a much better system. You know, I do research. You know, engineer do research. Equal opportunity. Everyone pay $100 to join. Everyone build 6 deep. Everyone build you 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So people join later can bypass people joining earlier, right? How many people here you bypass your upline? Raise your hand. You think you are going to bypass your upline? Raise your hand. Yeah, we have the opportunity here. You know, referring a study from Cornell University, I put 9 bullet points here. Why WFG compensation system is so great? Number 1, rational and fair. The more you work, the more you make. Number 2, equal opportunity. Number 3 is effective efficiency, because the win-win situation here. Like Teresa, you help me, I help you. You use your English, I use my English. We did quite good. Yeah. Retention, automatic here. And no glass ceiling. And ownership, your profit sharing, bonus, long-term, next generation, right? And transparent, and great wealth distribution. I mentioned that already. And the dynamic, that can be changed at any time. So, integrity part. Generally, people love to have what they do not deserve. They put $1 in the stock market, they think make $1 million. We want that. But in WFG, we deserve what we have. Champion team, we have so many people, so-called very well educated, at the same time very stubborn. We know that. But we know engineers, good thing. Logical, technical, and good at numbers. Engineers structured, well-planned, accountable, project-oriented. Of course, we have room to improve. We want to love human too, not only love numbers, right? So we want to have a teamwork. We have to get used to rejections. So to me, WFG is like a project. Very much like a project. You say this is the 25-year project. And we have a project for $250,000 earners. Now we have 85. Every year it's growing like that. And we have $1 million earners, now 15. Yeah? G, you understand my English? You know, another one is like this. Looks like the first $100,000 not easy. But once you reach $250,000, not too far away from $1 million income. That's WFG. Okay, I don't have too much time. I have 50 millionaires, 48 people on the way to become millionaires. Okay, forgot that. Music is coming. Hey, Schwartzman said, I believe it's just as hard to achieve big goals as the small ones. The only difference is the result. Many people, the highest cost is doing WFG with a small mindset. The rest I will share with you next time. Thank you very much.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Maricel Goyena.
My name is Maricel, and that's my loving husband, Kim Goyena. First of all, I would like to thank our Heavenly Father for all the blessings that He has given us, and to our dedicated and supportive mentors, Ling, Mark, Sunny and Ken, Rocky, and Miranda. We are both physical therapists, and at that time, we thought we already got it. But then later on, when WFG came to us 7 years ago, we have a big vision. We want to be big in 5 years. But after being SMD, all our 300 associates were gone. We were down, but we're not defeated. We know that the lowest moment in our life is when we have to put more hard work. So we started calling people. We started making appointments, and then we started doing webinars. Yes, 2016 when we started, by just using voice, because we don't see them on the other line. But that alone already made our recruiting breakthrough. And then 2 years later, our mentor Ken, introduced us the Zoom, and that increased our associates' retention. And because of that, our breakthrough started. 2016, when we have our first SMD, 2018, when we became EMD, 2019, when we became CEO, and 2020, when we became EVC. During the pandemic is when our breakthrough also happened. Our production hit from 2.3 million to 5.3 million. Our recruiting hit from 1,400 to 3,000 recruits, and we were able to promote 30 SMD and 1 EMD in 4 years. Our breakthrough started from Donna in 2016. She's a code market, but from her, we were able to have 17 SMD. Our second wave is from my cousin, Doc June, from a medical doctor, and quit her job after a year, and from her, we were able to have 4 SMD. And then our third wave happened from our old partner, 10-10-30, June, and from him, we were able to have another 4 SMD. And this is what happened when we keep relentlessly building wave after wave. We are so obsessed in building base shop. And how do we build our business? First, we cast the vision. We always give our associates, selling them the dream that they're going to be with us in Hawaii, giving them shirt, magnet, postcard, and then we make them, declare big goals, affirmation, and then light a lantern so that their wish can be granted. And then we also have team bonding, understand their language of love. And we have a lot of developing committees, spiritual committee, charity committee, event committee, and that increased our breakthrough in our business. We also have charity events, fundraising, so that we can increase our team unity. But what made us stay in WFG? I remember when Ling was still building us in the beginning, many leaders talked to her and told her that Filipinos are hard to build because we are hardworking employees, not a business owner. We just want to go shopping and spend money. But you know what? That increased the intensity of the fighting spirit within us. We told ourselves, that we will be working hard so we can prove that we can be a WFG asset, that we can prove that we can also create legacy, that we can prove that we can also create dynasty. And we want to be the first. We want to be the first CEO and millionaire in the Chinese hierarchy of Rocky Shi, and we were able to do that. And guess what? What is our obsession? Our obsession is making appointments, webinar, 8 to 12 appointments, 16 to 20 hours every single day. And our obsession is WFG, Vegas attendance, year after year with triple our attendance. Last year, we only have 297 attendance, but this year, we will have more than 900 attendance. My most unforgettable moment is our WFG annual Hawaii trip. Why is it I want to be financially free fast? Because I see my parents getting older. I want to spend time with them. I was able to do that in the last 7 years until my mom passed away last year. I have so many dreams for her, but I'm still thankful WFG came to us. I still remember like it was yesterday how excited she is every time we go to Hawaii. Her smile every time we go buy souvenirs to bring back home. How excited she was when she see us getting awarded on the stage. How excited she was when she found out that my sister finally passed her license so she can be with me in WFG. At her funeral, many of our associates flew and even drove. Our SMD weekend vans drove 32 hours one way just to be with us from Seattle to Indiana and spend 1 month with us. A lot of our associates prepared for that funeral. And because of WFG, I was able to give her the best funeral that a daughter can give. So if you still have your parents with you, love them with all your heart. Love the team, because WFG is our second family. To my mom, I'm gonna make you more proud. And to my dad, let's be strong and continue our life journey together. And for STAR team, thank you. Thank you for being with us through thick and thin. And for all of you here, all the leaders here, our silent associate, all our friends here, let's continue to work hard so we can be the #1 company in the whole financial industry. Thank you.
My husband and I had our previous life insurance policy reviewed by a WFG agent. We thought we had done well, but she quickly identified that it was not the best policy for our specific needs and was an insufficient amount. After carefully considering what was best for our family, we made the decision to acquire new policies through World Financial Group, which became active in May 2016. Unexpectedly, in August of 2016, my husband Scott was severely injured in a logging accident. On August 18, 2016, he passed away from complications. His heart just could not take it anymore. My family and we were devastated. The life insurance policy we had only recently acquired helped me cover essential expenses and definitely made things a little easier. I did not have to sell my home. I was able to keep it, make improvements to it to maintain its market value, and I was able to pay off debts we both had. I was truly grateful that we protected our family and were as prepared for this as we could have been at the time. I want to help others avoid the mistakes my husband and I made. We could have started planning for our retirement a lot earlier, and we should have been better protected sooner. Too many people believe that this is never going to happen to me and they don't need life insurance, but they've got to get their heads out of the sandbox. I encourage everyone to create a will, get life insurance, and possibly disability insurance, because you just don't know when you're going to injure yourself or when the good Lord is going to call you home.
right, welcome. And I'm excited to share the next speakers that we have coming up. I'm still trying to shake the goosebumps off me. I'm a goosebump guy, and those speakers we just had before us, and Marcel and Rocky, you guys gave me some some big goosebumps. Thanks for sharing your passion and your stories. Just inspiring. So our next two speakers, first one is Levi Mboni. He was born and raised in Africa. He moved to the US and he worked as a registered nurse for over a decade. He's been in WFG for 8 years, is an SCVC, has an SCVC, 33 people making over 6 figures, family man and a man of faith. So we're excited to hear from him. And our second speaker is Jamie Villalobos, SCVC, massive, massive team. I know that she spoke on several Zoom calls for our team, so thank you, Jamie. She hit 7 figures by the time she was 30 years old. Her story is just tremendous. Has 4 kids and has been in business with her husband, Sean, for 20 years, 4,000 plus agents spread over 100 offices. You guys are in for a treat. Please help me welcome our next two speakers.
Introducing Senior Executive Vice Chairman, Levi Mboni.
Whoosh. Thank you, WFG. Thank you, everybody. My name is Levi, and I'm so grateful to be on this platform this morning. But to start off with, I just want to thank the Almighty God for his continuous blessing upon my life, and because without him, I wouldn't be here today. I want to thank my beautiful family for the continuous support and love they've given me over these 8 years building this business in WFG. I want to thank my incredible leadership from Dr. Martin Quende, who is here in this room, Zach Rance, and Eric Olson for stretching my vision beyond imagination. And most importantly, my team for their continuous dedication in protecting families. Folks, prior to WFG, I was a registered nurse, and I took a specialty in hospice. And I want you to imagine spending years upon years looking right into the eyes of people who are presumed to be dying 6 months or less. As diversified as nursing was, I took a specialty in palliative care because of what it meant to me, the value of life. And I want you to imagine what kind of impact, what kind of value you bring to terminally ill patients and their families. I don't know if you ever lost a loved one, but I know how difficult it is. And we do that on a daily basis. When WFG presented itself, I saw an opportunity. I saw an opportunity, folks, to change lives. Why? Because I saw families divide because of money. I saw people full of regret on their dying beds because of money. Working with these people over the years, I was asking the question, if the man upstairs was to call me today, was I completely satisfied where my family was financially? That answer to me was constantly a no. I don't know about you, but yet most people spend most time procrastinating as if tomorrow is guaranteed. I stand here tall to tell you tomorrow is not guaranteed. My patients were not all old. They were young and old. I see young children, their lives snap out of them. With an opportunity like WFG, just fast forward 8 years after I signed an AMA, I can say here that, it's a pure blessing that my family is way better. It's not where I wanted them to be, but it's way better financially because of this opportunity. And I'm hoping that if you're in this room, you can at least increase the value of what WFG is bringing to us. I remember growing up in Africa, folks, in a small country called Cameroon. I was one of those underprivileged children you can think about. School was a no-no. Why? I lost my dad prior to 11 years old. My mom had no prior education. I remember her grandson asking her to read and asking her grandma, don't you see? Because he has no concept of illiteracy. I was kicked out of school 3/4 of the semester because I couldn't afford for tuition. There's no free education. I worked so hard on the farm with my mom to make it to school. And when I became so blessed, I told my wife, honey, there's 1,000 of children that are just like you and I. I want to go sponsor 1,000 children. Guess what? I burned my candles from both ends as a nurse, thinking that that can happen. It never happened. Working extremely hard. And that's why when the WFG opportunity presented itself, I said, wait a minute, this is prayer answered. And right from day one, I took off. Just imagining today that dream of sponsoring 1,000 children, that 1,000 children that were just like me would never wonder whether they have a dad or a granddad. It's just unbelievable thanks to this WFG opportunity. You know, we have a great vision looking at where we're going. As we grow in WFG, we keep expanding, keep expanding. I look at the communities across the board. I look at what Jeff is doing, and I say, wait a minute. We can do more. We can do more if we just put a little bit more effort. Most of us get comfortable too soon. Why? Maybe we're looking at immediate family. But the world is struggling, folks. The world is really struggling. And we set a short-term vision. We say by 2030, we're going to build 50 millionaires on our team. We're going to have 50 people making $1 million and above. We only have 2 now, and you might be thinking, but this year we're promoting 3, next year we're promoting 10. And those 50 people are going to sit on the board of a self-funded charity to change communities across the board. We have patients that don't have medicine. Guys, I still recall like it was yesterday, when people have to, compromise. Should we go for this or this because they don't have any money? I have patients that will pass on, their families will call and say, Mr. Levi, we can't take the body. What do you mean you can't take the body? We burned everything when they were sick. And so I become a frequent flyer calling the board of anatomy to come pick dead bodies. Remember, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's child that they can't afford for 2,000 cremation. Guys, we're blessed beyond imagination. We just have no idea how we are blessed because we haven't been on the other side. Looking at what WFG platform can provide and the incredible leadership that we have, if there is any reason why you shouldn't go win and win big to your family, that reason will be internal, not on this platform. I, for one, made a decision with my wife. And I said, till my last breath, I'm going to be working on this opportunity. It gave someone like me a shot. It gave someone like me a shot that no one else could give. If there was any opening on the nursing unit, they knew who to call. It was me. They didn't even have to put it up. They knew who to call. It was me. I was always looking for the extra hour to put in. I wasn't looking for the next month, Yet, at the end of the year, you look at the WF2, you're confused. If you made the money, where is it? Let alone you can extend a helping hand. Folks, let's keep the basics to the fundamentals. If you want to win here, it's that simple. And most people have been asking, how do you go so fast and stuff like that? We keep it that simple. Find them, recruit them, get them licensed, field train them. Is that so difficult to do, folks? That's it. That's what we do on a daily basis. Recruit these people, get them licensed, field train them. That's it. Guys, I continue to thank God every single day for this opportunity, WFG, and I hope you too, because in my opinion, it's second to none. I come from very humble beginnings, and I'm grateful to have shared my story with you guys this morning. Thank you.
Introducing Senior Executive Vice Chairman, Jamie Villalobos.
What's up, WFG? I am so excited to be with you guys today. Honestly, I've been here 21 years, and I have never been as excited as I am right now about what's going on in this business, the explosion of promotions and cash flow. And I know a lot has to do with the leadership, but also a lot has to do with that we are virtual. And, now that the pandemic's coming to an end, people are asking, Jamie, are we going to be 100% on virtual still? Should we be 100% in the office? And I don't think either is the answer. A hybrid is the answer. It used to be that I'd be in my office training tons of people, trying to pour into them, but I could only get so far of a reach. Now, today, I can be, at my house, sitting at my bedroom, and being able to be in front of 5,000 people at a time. So the virtual has made things faster. It's awesome. I love it. I can be in New York and Florida and Texas all in the same day. I can do a lot more appointments. Used to be happy with 8 or 9 appointments in a day. Now you can do like 20 plus appointments in a day. But as fast as it is and as great as it is, it's still missing the magic of being live face to face. There's power in proximity, you guys. A lot of our offices have already started having guests and live BPMs. This is Cash's office, and he has huge screens up that show all of his out-of-state people, so he can see the entire crowd, his entire team at the same time. It's awesome. But I think about our founders of our company, our great pioneers like Swan Nguyen and Rich and Monty and Jack Linder, and what they went through, the arrows that they took in their back to build this vision, this dream that we're all the fruits of today. They didn't have Zoom. They didn't have virtual. They didn't even have cell phones. They'd have to stop at a payphone just to confirm an appointment or check in with a trainee. Jack Linder probably was using Morse code way back then. And so they've built these massive empires. Look at the stats of what has been built today. I honestly don't believe even the vision that they had to lead the investment revolution and change the savings habits of North America, as big as their vision was, I don't know if they saw even what we have today. And I feel like this thing is just getting momentum and just getting going. We are so lucky. But we're promoting now a 7-figure earner, about more than an average of more than 1 a month. A 6-figure earner every day, you guys. That's the momentum we have. We have $8 million a year earners. We even have a guy that's making $1.5 million a month. Can you think of that? I think of Swan and his $1.5 million, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get my act together. But I'm more impressed, even more impressed about the charity work that's going on. All of these leaders that are being built and pulled up in WFG that are creating wealth for themselves and for others, they're also developing these incredible leadership skills. And together we're changing the world. I think of just Swan alone. He has all these orphanages. He started with just 3, 1 for each of his children. And now he has all these orphanages. He has built wells in 5 different countries, you guys. He has one charity that they give a little cow, and the first calf comes back, and it's perpetual to the next family and the next. He has a school for the blind. Penny, Rocky, Andy Wynn, Jeff Levitan, so many leaders are doing, we've given millions to charities. I remember being in Uganda, playing with these children in this orphanage, and I brought my team there. And they were playing, they put stickers all over their faces, and they were just wanting to get hugged. And I looked at my team and I said, look what we can do. The worst thing that can happen in WFG is that you think small, that you settle for just success instead of significance, and really the difference that we can make out there together. So here we are, we're coming to the end of the pandemic. It's faster now. We have virtual. We can reach people. We can expand faster. We can make a difference faster. But we now have to put the heart back into it. We have to be live again. There's no substitute for sitting face to face with the leader and then he's pouring into someone, pouring belief into someone. And so I can't have any substitute for the fact when I was driving in the car with Rich Thawley and he looked at me and said, Jamie, we can't even relate till you're making at least $1 million a year. And my mind was blown. I thought, oh my gosh, he thinks I can make $1 million a year. My vision was stretched. Or when Monty had sat kneecap to kneecap and eyeball to eyeball and said, Jamie, you're the next. He said, you don't have to be the first, Jamie. You just have to be the next. And you're the next great superstar of WFG. Or when I went to Hawaii and Jeff Levitan, he said, Jamie, when are you going to get a ring on your finger, girl? And he challenged me. Or Ed, every time he challenged me to a new level, it was always face to face. So pull your leaders aside, bring them to your homes, start doing live events together. A long time ago, I had a guy on the team that quit named Henry, and I tried everything to get him to reactivate. And I said, let's just get together. Let's just go to dinner. And I said, I love you, Henry. We believe in you, Henry. Give me a name, Henry. Give me a top 25, Henry. And I got 2 names that night. One of them was a girl named Dana Lagatuda, who's in EVC today, living her dreams. Her replacement leg was Michael Coleman, who also recruited Cash Raston, they're both 7-figure earners. They're both EVCs. And I think, what if I had quit? What if I had didn't have that big thinking? What if I wasn't around guys like Ed and Rich and Monty that stretched my vision? Or what if I didn't say, Henry, just give me a name? Where would I be? That's millions of dollars of override, just that one leg. There's power in proximity. Get together with your guys, start believing in them, start pouring in them, start loving on them. And live events. I was just at a live event with Cash Raston, our first live event back. And I'm sitting in the gala and I'm just soaking up the magic, the hero making, the dreams that we're igniting again, and the seeds that we're planting for success. And I loved it. I was high-fiving, and the category was people that made more than $10,000 last month. And I'm sitting there high-fiving all these people that had made more than 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. And I thought, I don't even know these people. Most of them I had never met before. And these are lives that are changed. Their kids are going to go to different schools. They're going to get out of debt. They're going to help other people get out of debt. People are going to retire early. Marriages are going to get stronger because I didn't quit and because I said, Henry, give me a name. I love what we do. I love our team. I love this business, you guys. I love our system. I love the leadership of our company. More than anything, I love that some little girl like me from Montana was given a shot to go out and make a difference in the world. We need to lock arms right now. Now is not the time to take your foot off the gas, to cool it, to just do Zoom, to just do the office. Now's the time to max out and go spread this amazing message with everyone. Give people the opportunity that you were given. And let's go change the world together.
Ready?
Okay. Ready, sweetie?
Nice. You ready to go again?
Are you ready, Dad?
I'm ready.
Imagine if your life insurance could help you live for today and safeguard tomorrow, so you're ready for anything. Life insurance designed to protect generations of families. That's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial professional about Pacific Life.
All right. Everybody get up one more time. You still excited? And can we give Cam a big hand? He's been doing so awesome. Let him hear that you guys appreciate Cam Michaud out there. It's just amazing. Excited to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. $8 million tells you something, right? Built an incredible business. He's in his 30s. Let that sink in for a second. In his 30s, making $8 million a year, 18 years in business. And not only is he larger in life, but at the same time, he's breaking records here that this company has not seen here in this last 10 years. So let's all get up, give it up for EC, $8 million earner, Eric Olson.
Introducing Executive Chairman, Eric Olson.
All right, well, my name's Eric Olson. Thank you for having me. Appreciate that introduction. And, I started in this business when I was 21 years old, and I was going to college. I was playing football, Division I, and that was my dream. My future was sports. That's all I thought about my entire life, and I had a dream to play professional sports, and someone gave me a phone call and introduced me to this great company. And I came down to a local office, and the guy that introduced me to the company said he had just made over $40,000 in 1 month. And he said, how would you like to make unlimited income? And, I didn't come from a rich family, so I made a decision that I guess that rich family has to come from me. And so I came into the business, and they were talking big, and there's a lot of young guys in the office, and they said, how would you like to make millions of dollars and have a big house and drive nice cars and have a wonderful wife and have a great life? I said, man, that sounds great. So that was my goal. I put my head down. I quit everything in my life. I went full-time in this company. And in my 20s, I was starting making $1 million a year in this organization. And I had great mentorship and great leaders and the founders of our company. They started talking about morals and values and integrity and doing it right. And the only shortcut is to do it right the first time. And I heard about the 5 F's. And the 5 F's are faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And not just come here to make money, not just come here to help people, but change every single area of your life. And I said, man, that sounds way better. That sounds way better. So I started working on that. I envisioned that for our organization. How about attracting people to not only just making money, not only just helping people with their money, but changing their entire life for the better. So then I started focusing on that, because whatever you focus on is what you get. And the faith part, and the spiritual life, and just really having a relationship with God, and that helped. You know, my favorite Bible verse, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. And I want you to know you can do all things. And so my faith got very strong. And then all of a sudden my family. And I met my beautiful wife, Sandra, in this business. And we have 4 beautiful children. My family life got better. And because of this company, I'm a better husband to my wife. I'm a better father to my kids, which is second to none. And then all of a sudden my finances, they said you can make a lot of money, but then not just make a lot of money, but save a lot of money, but then invest it in the right places, and making sure that you're not just rich, but you're actually wealthy. And I started focusing on that. And it's kind of crazy, because the last 8 years in a row, this great company has given me an extra $1 million raise for 8 years in a row. Pretty incredible, right? And so from $1 million a year to now over $8 million a year. And just a couple months ago, this company paid me over $1 million in 1 month. And I remember when I was in my 20s, I had this big goal to make $1 million a year, and everyone started laughing, and then I did it. And then I had this big goal to make $1 million in a month, and a couple months ago, we did it. And guess what? We're not just making it rain and doing stupid stuff with our money. We're actually saving it and doing it right. And this company taught us that. And then the fitness side, I kind of forgot about that F. I wanted to make another F. I started saying, how about freedom, or things like that. But the fitness part, we started working on that. We just lost 100 pounds the last year. That was pretty fun. So we got that done. And then because you want to be healthy and you want to be wealthy, and you want to do both. And then the fun part, the 5th F is fun. I believe winning is funner than fun is. And but I just love the fact that what we stand for in this company, and helping people, and making big money, and having fun, and traveling the world, and changing people's lives. And it's so much funner to see my leaders and my people in Pinnacle become successful. We just have 9+ new $1 million earners in our organization now, a couple $2 million earners, and the sky's the limit. One of this incredible couple that just came in our organization, Daniel and Linda Fambo, they came in a couple years back, and they're already at over $2.5 million a year. And someone said, Eric, I think this couple's gonna break every single one of your records. And I said, I hope they do. And they said, what do you mean? I said, with this new era, with Zoom and technology, are you kidding me? There's gonna be people that have done what I've done in half the time. I really believe that, and that's not just me. That's a bunch of people in this organization. They're going to do the same thing. So what if I told you, if you got serious about this business, that all 5 of those F's would become better in your life? Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Who would sign up for that? This company changed my entire life for the better, and I'm just a product of the great company called World Financial Group. There's a lot of pretenders out there. There's a lot of wannabes out there. There's a lot of candy companies out there, but there's only one great company called WFG. You understand? And we're gonna go do something great. We're going to do something that's never been done before. I love that Transamerica and Aegon are backing us up, and we're going to be doubling down, and we're going to be doing something bigger and better. A lot of people are congratulating on my wife and I's success, and we appreciate that, but we're just getting started. We're just still in our 30s, you understand? The future is bright. Every single one of you should be wearing sunglasses right now because your future's so bright. You realize? I want you to start thinking bigger. My motto is go big or go home, and I feel like we are just getting good. We're just getting everything in place to do something huge. So this decade, 2020 to 2030, is called the decade of dominance. There are 78 million baby boomers retiring. There's approximately $63 trillion in wealth switching hands. And this great company, WFG, we're going to be right in the middle of that. You understand? And we're going to have over 1,000 people become $1 million earners in this organization, and I want you to be one of them. And I believe that you could be one of them. I lived my entire life believing that everything happens for a reason. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in chance. Isn't it even crazy that you're here right now? Isn't it even crazy that you're listening to this message right now? I don't believe in coincidence. You're supposed to be here, and you can do this. So the good news is, I believe you all have what it takes to be very, very successful in this organization. The bad news is, you're going to probably have to give everything you got. And that's what I've done. I've committed the rest of my life to this business because it's not about me. Because I've been blessed, I want to be a blessing to others. And we're going to do big things together in this organization. I promise you that. It's about freedom. Because if you have all 5 of those F's, faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun, you'll have freedom as well. And that's ultimately what we want: freedom of time, freedom of income, and financial independence. So I love this company. It changed my entire life, and I've now dedicated the rest of my life to making sure everybody in my organization and in this great company have that same experience. I'm a different person from age 21 to now in my 30s, but guess what? I really believe my vision is so big that our entire company can fit in this vision. You know, we've had our founders and we've had our great-grandparents who started this company 40 plus years ago, and with all due respect to them, because they're incredible people, we're gonna beat everything that they've done. And if you don't believe me, just watch. It's going to happen. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about we. And that's what it's all about. Us coming together as WFG, because divided we stand, but united, we're going to do even something bigger than that. And so I just want you guys to all be on the same page, because no one's got it better than us. We're going to do something really, really big in this organization. I hope you're all in, because I know for a fact that if this company changed my life, it could change your life as well. So give your best. Your best is good enough. I know some of you got your heart broken in junior high, but I want you to know you can love again. You can give your best, and you're going to be reaping the benefits for the rest of your life. My name's Eric Olson. I appreciate you guys, and let's go do it big. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Eric. I always love when you speak, man. You always give it to me. And awesome message, and congratulations on all your achievements. And I'm excited to be able to introduce our guest speaker. Before I do that, I want to thank John, my MC today, my MC buddy, and you made it super comfortable for me. So I want to thank you for that. And then all of you that sent me some text messages with some like awesome words and kindness, I want to thank you, because that means a lot to me. So I had the privilege a couple of years ago of introducing the guest speaker at the convention. It was Captain Scully. And today I get to introduce Mr. Joe Gibbs, who's achieved astonishing success throughout his career as a leader in professional sports, in business, and the community. He's one of the winningest coaches in NFL history. He led the Washington football team to 4 Super Bowl appearances with 3 championships. His career success earned induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1996, and the honor of being named in 2019 as one of the 10 best football coaches in the history by the NFL. Mr. Gibbs has proven that his leadership skills extend beyond the field, having founded Joe Gibbs Racing in 1992. He has guided the team to more wins across all of NASCAR's top 3 national series than any organization in the sport's history, winning the sport's premier event, the Daytona 500, 4 times, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 5 times, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 5 times. He was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2020. He's authored 3 books, including the Game Plan for Life, Your Personal Playbook for Success, earning New York Times bestselling status. In 1996, he founded Youth for Tomorrow, a residential, educational, and counseling center in Northern Virginia that is now home to more than 100 troubled teens. Please get on your feet and clap your hands and help me welcome Mr. Joe Gibbs.
Introducing founder and owner Joe Gibbs Racing and NFL Hall of Fame coach, Joe Gibbs.
I've been looking forward to this. I want to start off by saying I'm a little intimidated by speaking to your group. I can just imagine all the CEOs out there, all the people with all the business credentials and degrees that you have. I'm a little intimidated because I'm sharing with you, and I think it's only fair I share something about myself, and I want to start with, I was a physical education major in college, okay? That's ballroom dancing and handball. So as far as what's up here, I'm going to be working hard today to keep up with you guys. The other thing about my life I want to share with you, I'm the guy that seems to get in the wrong end of everything. Are any of you guys that way? Think about my professional life, okay? I had a dream. coaching football. Man, can you even believe that I get a chance to coach the Washington Redskins? What a thrill, okay, for Pat and I and the boys who moved to Washington. I'm all excited about this. I dive into coaching. One of my dreams always when I got in coaching was to get a Super Bowl ring. And can you believe that happened? The one thing I will tell you about this, I let the players design this, and they designed them so big that they only come into handy for about two things. You expect a fist fight that day, or if you're trying to get upgraded, there happen to be any seats in first class. That's about the only two things that the rings come in handy for. But the other part of that, as I kept working in football with the Redskins, the farther I went, I was thinking about this with my PE brain now, and I said to myself, you know, I'm sleeping at the office, I'm busting myself, I'm doing all the work here. The most I could win in a bonus was $75,000. I had to win a Super Bowl to get that, and I'm thinking to myself, the owner is getting rich. I'm doing all the work, and the owner's getting rich. So I said to myself, if I get in something else, I'm going to become the owner. And sure enough, I got the opportunity to step over to NASCAR, and I became the owner. I'm showing them. And so to tell you how smart that was, almost every week when we show up on the grid and our drivers are getting in the race car, I will probably walk over to one of them every week and say this, okay, you're getting to have all the fun. They're driving a race car and making a living. Okay, secondly, you're making all the money. This is true. When we win a race, the driver gets half of that bonus, the winnings, okay? He pays 4 people to drive his motor home and fool around the house. I get half of the winnings. I pay 500 people to work on his race car. So I tell them, you're making all the money. And then the third thing is, they all have great looking girls. So if you want to get in racing, okay, my suggestion is be a driver. They have all the fun, they make all the money, and they have great looking girls. So I just share that with you. I'm being honest up front and telling you, okay, I'm that guy that's speaking to you today. But let's think about our two worlds. Do we have something in common? I think we do. Okay, think about what the World Financial Group you guys are involved in. You're selling people to come onto your team. Okay, you're selling your products and services. You're definitely doing what? You're involved in sales. Think about my life, football and racing. When I was coaching the Redskins and we had free agency, I'm trying to sell those players on coming to the Redskins. The other thing that we're involved in with football for sure, what's the most important job I had to do as a coach? On Mondays and Tuesdays, we crafted the game plan. The players come in on Wednesday. We start putting the game plan in, first and second down on Wednesdays. Thursday, third down, 2 to 6, plus 20-yard line in. We put the game plan in segments. And odds are, if we had a good game plan, and I did a great job of selling the game plan to our players, we had a chance to win the game. So I would say that our two worlds, we definitely are involved in sales. The other thing that I think we would have to say about you and I in your world, we got to please the customer, okay? And certainly you guys do in the sales process. I know that's what you pride yourself on with the World Financial Group, pleasing the customer. All right, think about me now, okay? Do I have a customer I got to please? Well, I share this with you. The first year of coaching with the Redskins, I always remember this game. It was the second game I coached as a head coach. And of course, think about my world at that point. It's the third quarter. We're playing the Denver Broncos. The score is 14-14, okay? Think about this. 50,000 people at RFK Stadium cheering us on. Man, I'm sweating. I'm on the sidelines. And I always remember this. It was the first time okay, in my coaching career as a head coach, where it came up to 4th and 1. And so it's 4th and 1, and all the fans, everybody is, go for it, go for it. And I remember standing there looking up at them as a young coach, and I said, they want to go for it. And so I went for it, and we didn't get it. And what did they do? Boo! So I think you can say, I figured out from that point on, okay, from now on, I know what you guys are going to do. From now on, I'm going to do on the sidelines and making the calls what I want to do. So I think we can definitely say that is part of our life. Your life and my life is pleasing the customer. Okay, so then, of course, the other thing about your business world is what? Fast-paced. I had a business friend in Los Angeles, and he had stamped on matchbook covers and napkins, he had a little picture of a dinosaur on there. And underneath the dinosaur, it said, adapt or die. In the business world, your world, it is what? Fast-paced. Why are you here? Why are we having this get-together? You're getting caught up on all the latest that's going on in your business world. Think about my world in football. Fast-paced? Yeah, I would say that it definitely is. For us in football, in the NFL, in the time I was in it, we had to start dealing with the salary cap. We only had so much money to spend. On the football field, it was zone blitzes. It was ROPs, runs and passes combined, constantly changing. And what I've basically said in the two sports I've been in, NASCAR and football, they changed at roughly 30% a year. So I think if we take a look at those three things, sales, pleasing the customer, and we're both in a fast-paced world, I would say that we got some things in common there. Wouldn't you? Okay, so let's take that. I think we got a lot in common. Okay, what I'm going to try and give you then is over these 30 years of team building with me, none of this came from a Harvard study. This is on-the-job training, okay? And my world has been what? Trying to encourage people to come onto my team, okay? Sacrifice their individual goals for the goals of the team. Why is that hard? It's hard for this reason. We're going against human nature. And when I say that, I learned a lot. My first grandkid, I share this little story with you. Jackson comes on the scene. And I got to tell you, for that first 2 years, only grandkid, everything was his, all the attention. Jackson was living a pretty good life. And then I noticed something when Miller, his brother, showed up 2 years later. And every time Miller touched one of Jackson's toys, it was Jackson. Because what? The point I'm trying to make here, we come into the world pretty much what? Self-centered. And so what you and I are doing is recruiting the people for our team, asking them to sacrifice their individual goals for the goals of the team. We're going against human nature. So basically, what we've talked about right there is I think we do have a lot in common. Your world and my world. So what I'm going to do is kind of share a few things with you that I've learned in team building over those years. I hope it's meaningful. Some of these things are meaningful for you. I know every time I get a chance to listen to a CEO or someone running a company, I learn a lot. I think we are both what? Coaches. You're coaches, leading your teams. I'm a coach, leading our teams. So I want to start off and kind of share a few things with you. Now remember, okay, in the sporting world, I would just say this to you, that I always stayed in team sports, you know, it's football and racing. For this reason, okay, I wasn't a good athlete. And so I learned early on, get on teams where you do have great athletes. They can do some great things, and I can take some of the credit. The only award I ever got in sports was most improved, okay? So let's get that straight. But my entire life has been what? Okay, team building. Okay, and so what would I say to you, the very first thing I always kind of share with anybody looking to build teams is what's the most important asset we have? With the World Financial Group, is it their services? Is their products? No, it's what? Your people. And I've learned with the 2 sports I've been in a small family business, the most important asset we have is our people. Okay? When I coach the Redskins, if I coach the right 45 guys and I pick the right 45 guys, they're going to make me look good. So it's all about people. So I want to start off with this little story, and I think it'll lead us down this road as we talk about our most important asset. When I got the job in 1981 coaching the Washington Redskins, everybody said to me, you need to get John Riggins back here. John Riggins is a big fullback, okay, that had set out in a contract dispute the year before and got everybody fired. I didn't want to get fired, so everybody's telling me, get Riggins back here. This guy's a superstar. And so I made up my mind that was what I was going to try and do. 2 weeks after I got that job, without saying anything to anybody, I got me a flight to Lawrence, Kansas. Okay, landed there. I go down to the very first gas station. I asked that owner there, I said, can you tell me where John Riggins lives? Everybody in Lawrence, Kansas knows where John Riggins lives. John Riggins is an All-American at Kansas. Everybody knew him, and this guy was a superstar. And so I'm out down the dirt road, pulled up in back of the farmhouse where he lived, knocked on that door. Right away, I knew I had a chance to get John Riggins to come back to the Redskins because his wife answered the door. Her hair's up in rollers. The kids are running through the house, and she told me she wanted to come back. There's only 2 ways to get a football player to do something, okay? Find him or get his wife to come. So I said, hey, please get me an appointment with John Riggins. I need to have a chance to talk to him about coming back to the Redskins. Back to the motel, got up the next morning, red lights on. You got an appointment to talk to John Riggins and have breakfast with him at 10 o'clock. Man, I'm all excited. I'm like a lot of you guys, okay? I got up, got my best stuff on. I'm thinking about my game plan, my sales pitch. Out down that dirt road, I pull up in back of that farmhouse. The first time I set my eyes on John Riggins, he's walking across the courtyard. He's got a camouflaged outfit on. He'd been hunting that morning, okay? And he had 2 beer cans in each hand. So I said to myself, well, I can tell he's really impressed with me. I don't think a player's going to show up like that. I start to have a little conversation. I'm not getting a lot back from him. We go in and sit down for breakfast. Okay, we're starting our breakfast, kind of sharing with each other. I'm kind of giving him a few casual things. Nothing. I'm not getting nothing. So I made up my mind. I'm going into my sales pitch, okay? I said, John, new coach, new offense. I'm going to put you in the backfield. I'm going to give you the ball every down. I'm never going to ask you to block. Hey, I'm a salesman. You don't expect me to tell him the truth, do you? I'm going as hard as I can. And the first meaningful thing I get from John Riggins, he leans across the table and he says, you need to get me back there. I'll make you famous. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this guy's an egomaniac. Nobody would say that to their coach. And so I'm thinking to myself, what can I do here? And I said, I tell you what I can do. I can get him back and trade him. That's what I can do. I can trade him for a first-round draft choice. And so I get rid of the egomaniac. And so I just take off on my sales pitch. Man, I finish that. I get up. I don't know what I've been able to accomplish with John. Get in the car, back to Washington. 2 days later, I get a call from John Riggins. And he goes, Joe, I've made up my mind. I'm going to play next year. I went, great. I get him back. I trade him for a first. I get rid of the egomaniac. This is perfect. You know what he said to me? There's only one thing I won't put in my contract, and that's a no trade clause. And so I say to myself, all of that. And here's what I went through that whole story to tell you this, okay? Somebody up there was looking out after me. See, I'd made up my mind the first time I met John. Egomaniac, focused on himself. Wasn't the case at all, okay? A great team guy. Super smart in football, okay? And you know what the moral of that story was? John Riggins made me famous. Every time it came up to 4th and 1, I said, give it to John. And so what I'm saying to you, however you acquire your talent on your team, okay, however you do that, the most important asset that we have as leaders and coaches and CEOs, okay, the most important asset we have is our people. And so I want to spend some time here, if I could then, just kind of going through a few things that we've learned when we are drafting players and picking players to come on our team. And then, of course, as I came over to racing, trying to pick people that would be the best team members for our team here in racing. So I'm going to share a few of those things with you. So if people are the most important asset we have, you with your teams, me with my teams, I would like to share a little bit of what we've learned about picking people. It's hard. People are complicated, okay? What we were doing with the Redskins, we had our scouts, 13 of them, traveling the country, and we were trying to make the right choices to come on our football team, and we're trying to draft young people coming out of college. How do you do that? That's hard. And so the first thing that we discovered, we were making some choices based on that person's college career, that player's college career, and sometimes just the last couple of years. And we started saying, look, we're making some mistakes here. There's some things in the past, okay, that would have told us some things about him that we should have known. And so we started telling our scouts, let's go all the way back to junior high. Let's talk to the coaches, the trainers, the teachers. What kind of person was he? Is he an achiever? And then let's go to high school and do the exact same thing. And then to college. Now what do you have? A 10-year history. Very important for us, and it started helping us, we feel like, on making good choices. And the way I kind of relate to that is, as an example, what happens to the ladies when they go to the marriage counselor? He looks at the history of that guy. And sometimes he comes back to them and says, look, this guy's quit 2 colleges, 3 jobs, he's going to quit you. The best way to pick people is what? Go as far back in the history, okay, and hopefully get a great background and learn a lot about them as far back as you can. So that was the first thing. The second thing that we kind of learned with our football team there, what's very important in football is football smarts. Football intelligence. Now think about this. What is a football player, what does he have to do mentally? Okay? It's very different from most of us in what we are involved in. A football player has to do what? Take the play, okay? And he has to take that play, his assignment, go out on the field and perform that assignment against moving objects, okay? Very different than what most of us would say, okay, would be our jobs in life. So this is complicated. And can you believe that what we were using for an intelligence test for football when I got to the Redskins was the ACT score? So Bobby Beathard and I, we went to George Washington University. We got a learning specialist there named Harry Wax. And here's what we said. Harry, we're going to give you the 5 smartest football players we have. Okay, 5 of the smartest. Okay, we had a lot of smart football players. And what we want you to do is analyze what they have. They have what we want, football intelligence. Okay? And do you know what he did? He came up with a simple test. It was giving instructions. It was moving blocks. Had nothing to do with math, reading, and writing. It was giving instructions and seeing if he could perform those instructions. It took 18 minutes. It's one of the best things we did. The other thing that we have at the Washington Redskins, Okay, and when you go into a draft room in the NFL, the players are stacked, okay, by their ability and where you think you're going to take them. They're all stacked. And we had a little orange sticker that we would put on some of those players, and I would always ask, what is that orange sticker doing over on our draft board, okay, on the good side? Because that orange sticker meant this. Back in their background at some point, they had issues. They had character issues and things that come up about their character. Well, the most important thing that we start out with in drafting or picking our people is what? Character. I know in the World Financial Group, that's very important to you guys. And I would say it's very important to us picking young talent in sports. And so many times I would walk in that room, I would see an orange sticker on the draft side, and I'd say, what is that? And the favorite statement by the scouts would always be this: you can handle him. And I would say this, I would say, listen, if that young person has spent 21 years, okay, having some issues in his life, I'm going to get 6 weeks with him in camp. I'm not going to fix him. So take that orange sticker and put it over there in the non-draft side. We're going to have enough issues with the people that we pick that don't have the orange stickers. I'm just saying to you, character is always first. Okay, and that's what we started with our drafts with the Redskins. You wanted the right kind of person. You want the right kind of people. And when you think about the World Financial Group, I know that that would be first for you. You want those people on your team. You want to be able to count on them. And you want to know what kind of character they have and what kind of team people they're going to be. The one other point I'd like to make on picking people, I use this little story. 1984, we got off to a horrible start with the Washington Redskins. We'd been to 2 Super Bowls, but 84, we were 1-2 to start the season. We had a Monday night game against the Cardinals. I always talk to the team the night before. I'm too nervous on the day of the game. And so I had talked to them the night before. We waited the whole next day to Monday night. And so I go out before we go on the field. And when I looked at all of our players in the locker room, I just said this: look, we're off to a horrible start. If you guys got anything to give the Washington Redskins tonight, give it. We got down on our knees, said that little Lord's Prayer, and when we stood up, I always remember this, I had 12 guys that went with me through 4 Super Bowls. Some of those big guys were standing right in front of me. 3 of them had tears coming out of their eyes. I'm looking at those guys, and what did that say to me? Were they focused on money, Pro Bowls, or something? No. They cared. They cared about the Washington Redskins. And I would say in picking people, okay, that's one thing that you need to really pay attention to. People that care. People that care come early. They stay late. They add something to the team. I used to tell the scouts, quit drafting wet diapers that just lay there. I want people that have some character. Those guys in the office, they're kind of joking with people. They come early, stay late. We need those kind of people, people that care. And so that's probably one of the most important things I could share with you today is people. And some of the things that we've learned in picking people, which is one of the hardest things that we have to do as leaders, CEOs, and coaches. All right, we've talked about picking people. All right, now, how do we motivate people? One of our most important jobs. And so in this area, I always like to start out with this, and I say to people working with their teams, define your goals for your team in the shortest time span possible. What do I mean by that? Well, in sports, it's easy. In football, we had 6 days to get ready. We walk out on that field. We play the game. We look up at the scoreboard. We've either won or lost. Now, you put people in that environment, they'll compete. People are competitive. They want to achieve. Some of the most competitive people in the world are what? The ladies. How do I know that? When I lost games coaching the Washington Redskins, most of the nasty notes I got We're from the ladies. We come into the world. Those ladies compete in the cars, they compete with their kids, and they compete in business. We come into the world, okay, competitive. We want to achieve. So you and I, as the leaders, okay, what's the way that we need to put them in the right environment so they will achieve and compete? Define your goals in the shortest time span possible. All right, it's much harder in business, and that's the reason why I share it with you. If you got people going to work for 1, 2, 3 months, and they're not being measured, and you don't have the goals there, then you're going to have people that do what? They'll drift. And so I just say to everybody in business, it's easier for us in sports, but for you, define your goals in the shortest time span possible. We're going to measure how many sales calls we made in 2 weeks. If you put people in that kind of environment, what you'll find is they will compete. So define your goals in the shortest time span possible. We've got our people. We've defined our goals. All right, now, one of the things I made a big discovery in 1981. Here was my assignment, trying to inspire the defensive line for the Washington Redskins. Okay, I want you to think about this group now. Okay, all young. Okay, they ranged in height somewhere between 6'1" and 6'4", weight somewhere between 240 pounds and 300 pounds, and in salary somewhere between $400,000 and $2 million. How do you inspire that group? They have everything. Okay, so I made up my mind. I went out and bought a number of those little Sony Walkmans. You guys probably remember in those days. They cost about $150. And I walked into that group that night, and here's what I said. Each one of you guys that gets a sack in this game tomorrow, I'm going to give you one of these Sony recorders. And I made a discovery that night. Dexter Manley, he looked at me, and you could see that in his eyes. I want that recorder. See, that wasn't in his $600,000 salary. And so on the following Monday after that game, when I called Dexter up in front of his teammates, and he strutted up there, and I handed him 3 of those little Sony recorders, I made a discovery. That man would kill for $150. Okay? I expanded on that. I went out and bought 3 Lazy Boy recliners. I put defense on one, offense on one, special teams on one. And here's what I told the team. I said the defensive player of the week, the offensive player of the week, special teams player of the week, they're going to get to sit in these little Lazy Boys during all of our meetings, and the rest of us are going to sit in those hardback chairs. I made a discovery. Those guys would kill for a Lazy Boy. I expanded on that. Player of the week. I gave him his own parking spot right next to the building, painted his number in there, and I gave him a brass nameplate. And here's what I found. People will compete. They love rewards. They don't have to be big things. They can be things just like I talked about, being creative with the ways you can give them these little rewards. But the key is also to do what? Present those awards in front of their peer group. Who means the most to those players when it comes to the way they compete? It's their other players. Those are the people they want to be respecting them. And it's the same in business. It would be your group, your team. And if you have those little rewards and hand those out in front of their teammates, I found that it really inspires people. So if you think about that, okay, I think that's a great way that we can all understand human nature. We're very competitive. Let's give those rewards. Let's define our goals in the shortest time span possible. And what we'll find is people will compete. All right, that takes me to the next part of my little presentation here. And I want to do that by designing a play, okay? And so I'm going to bring over, okay, and I'm going to take you guys just as if you're my players, And I want to design a play here and make a couple of key points. The play that I'm going to design for you is the play that we had the most success with in the 15 years I coached the Washington Redskins. This play was called Charlie 10 Hitch, okay? It averaged 9 yards per attempt every time we call it, okay? I see some of the ladies out there in the audience going, why didn't you just call it every time, every down, and you'd still be there? You're probably right. Let's design the play, and then I want to make a couple of key points off of it. I've got up here 11 on offense. I got the front here on defense, 7 people, and then that leaves, okay, 4 more people that they have a chance to play with, and normally that's 4 in the secondary and 7 up front. Okay, and I'm going to give this to you, and you're going to see how simple this is, but I want to make a couple of points. Charlie 10 Hitch, it starts with a burst by that outside receiver. That's 5 yards. Both receivers burst to the outside. And we ask our quarterback to turn and make a little fake to that fullback up the middle to try and hold everybody up front. Turn, make that little fake, and now I tell him to key the distance between the 2 hash marks. That's 18 feet 6 inches. If one of those 4 guys in the secondary stays in that area, then I tell him, you know, you've got one of these outside receivers one-on-one, okay? And we turn, make that fake, and explode that ball to the outside. Our receivers out there, Gary Clark, Art Munt, they catch this. The corners can't get them down for less than 9 yards. And so it's a very simple play. Now, you always got to coach people up on what can they do to take that away. Well, the first thing they'll do is jump up here with those corners. We're not going to let you catch that. Okay, we're going to jump up here, and we're going to press you. Now, I told you football players have to be smart, and particularly those receivers, and obviously the quarterback. When we get pressed on Charlie 10 Hitch, we turn that into a fade. It now goes to an up. Okay? Make that fake, quarterback. He turns, he keys that middle of the field. The safety stays there. I know I got one-on-one, and now I just work that safety with my eyes to one side, and I take that deep play. This is the play, the first play of the second half of the Denver Super Bowl in 1987. We're playing Denver, and they made a mistake and pressed Ricky Sanders. Doug Williams, the quarterback, he sees him jump up and press. We turn it into a fade. Doug hit Ricky for 72 yards there, and we scored 35 points in 1 quarter. That's never been equal since then. And so that's a simple adjustment. Okay, now, what is the one other thing the defense can do to take that away? Well, they could rotate out of the field, and now they're going to double team the outside receivers. All right, now, I tell this H-back, you now become the most important person on this play. You come off that line of scrimmage, make a move on that linebacker, get on that hash mark, and go like mad. Okay, now our quarterback makes the fake, turns and looks at the middle of the field. They've left the middle of the field. There's nobody left in the middle of the field, 18 feet 6 inches. And so now what I have is one receiver that's now running the up because he was pressed. I got the other receiver, the H-back, on the hash mark. Now I just work this safety. With my eyes, I work him outside and hit the inside, or I work him inside and hit the outside. Okay? That's the play that Gary Clark caught right here at the H-back against the 49ers that put us in the Super Bowl, okay, that year. And so that's it. In 2 minutes there, I gave you Charlie 10 Hitch. I see some of the people out there going, what? It's that easy? I want to make a couple of points. Number one, we need to be good teachers. As coaches, as CEOs, as team leaders, leading your team, we need to be good teachers. And we know that some people learn by hearing it. So we got to make sure we describe it and teach it so that they can hear it. We also know that some people learn by what? Seeing it. Okay? You saw this. the diagram. You need to make sure that your game plans and whatever you're giving your team, make sure that they can see it and read it. The third thing is we know that some people learn by what? Doing it. So as coaches, what we did, we verbally gave it to them, we drew it on the board, and now we go out at lunch and walk through it. So they're actually walking through it, and then later on, we will practice it. So some people learn by doing it. You and I, we need to be good teachers. And we need to make sure that our game plans are given out so that people can hear it, see it, and do it. Okay, so that's the first point I wanted to make. So we know we have to be good teachers as leaders of our team. And the last point I want to make is, what would happen on this play in this diagram? We got receivers, we got quarterbacks, we got all this going on. What happens though if this center misses this off block on pass protection? Okay, how important is that to this play? Because if he misses this block, we have no play. And so the point I wanted to make here is, can you as a leader of your team make everybody on that team feel important? Yes, you've given them their assignment, but can you make them feel important? And I think that's a gift in some ways. I use as an example, if you walk in the front door here at Joe Gibbs Racing, the person that you'll meet at that desk is Melissa. Now, a lot of people would tell Melissa, you're a receptionist. Okay, you know what I tell Melissa? Melissa, I walk in there sometimes in the morning, I say, listen, I give her a pep talk. Hey, you're one of the most important people in this building. And she always says to me, Joe, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm saying this, that we have between 100 and 200 people a day come through Joe Gibbs Racing. Fans, they come in off the street. And the first person they're going to meet, and the only person they're going to meet, is Melissa. And so when they go and look down on the floor, watch the videos, go on a little tour, when they leave Joe Gibbs Racing, their impression, Melissa, of Joe Gibbs Racing is going to be how you treated them. The second thing is, I say, Melissa, most of the people that call in here and talk to you, they're looking for instructions on how to get to our complex. They're never going to talk to somebody on the upper floor. And so when you talk to them on that phone, and when they hang up, their impression of how you treat them on that phone, that's going to be their impression of Joe Gibbs Racing. How many times have you called a business and you can tell that person on the other end of the phone, they're just trying to get rid of you. They don't care. And so I think for us as leaders, can we make everybody on our team feel important? And so that's the two things I wanted to use in this diagram. We have to be good teachers as leaders, okay, as coaches, as CEOs. We need to be good teachers, and we need to be able to get everybody on our team to understand their importance. All right, I gave you probably the best I had there for a little while, and it's about coaching, it's teamwork. I think we share a lot in common. It was exciting for me getting a chance to spend this time with the World Financial Group. I appreciate you guys so much for letting me do this. I just want to say this. This has to be your best year you've ever had, or the guys aren't going to invite me back here next year.
All right. Was that awesome stuff? All right. Hey, I got a few minutes with you guys. First off, I want to thank all of our speakers. Can we just give them all a great hand, because everybody delivered here. This is all a first. This is everybody. This is a first for everyone, right? And especially for all of those at home. You know, this is a special, special group. This is the only time that you could say, I was at the first hybrid virtual convention. I'm here. I showed up, right? And this is something that's going to be, in my opinion, this will be a big part of what we're going to be doing, right? Can I have my slides, please? I just got a few minutes with you guys, and we'll wrap up. Dreams do come true. This is my wife and I. She is so sexy. But in this picture, I was 15 and she was 14. And she wanted an older man. And I went ahead and became that older man. But I just wanted to be somebody, no matter what. You know, I look at G today. I know his story. Born on a dirt floor. He wanted to be somebody. Mickey was one of my good friends, right, from the business. If you knew what Mickey's challenges was in this last 12 months, you'd say, man, this is an incredible company because it's supportive. You built something special. And I look at all the people out here that I know, all my good friends. Helen's here, Vivian's here, right? We all took a risk. This whole company is all about risk. And this is a risk. We didn't even know. I have Teresa Tan Wong flying in from Canada. Didn't even know if she can get back into her dang country. But she's here, right? You know why? Because we have big dreams. We decided we want to do something special. We just needed somebody to believe in us. And that's how everybody out there. We want somebody to believe in you. If it wasn't for June and Joyce recruiting us, 25 years, he sold me a dream. He said, man, someday you could be somebody. You could build something great. We can build a great business together, something really special. I didn't know what he was talking about. And then I walk into a room, you guys, and then everybody has PhDs. Everybody has master's degrees. And he and I we're high school graduates, right? We believe in college, but our parents didn't have enough money for us to finish off. But we're here. We're on stage. So I want to just tell everybody back home, never mind what everybody else says about you. You can do this. You can build this. Because the people in this room have gone through a just incredible amount of sacrifice to make things happen, right? Look at us two. I mean, these are two guys that, I don't even know how you pose like that. Why do you even stand like that? But it's two guys that believed that we could be somebody. And then all of a sudden, we're on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, celebrating us, right? And I remember this picture. You guys don't know this, but June De La Cruz, he couldn't fix his hair before. I had to help him with gel, hairspray, how to do it right? But he's still selling me this dream, man, because we can do this. Guys, with my first presentation, it was in black and white. And they're selling us this is a multi-million-dollar business. And I'm saying, can't you afford colored slides? But that's where we were, right? And that's, you know what I learned about that? It's not where you are today. It's where you are coming from. And this is the thing. This is just starting. This is in its infancy. This Zoom thing is just the beginning. And if you take your foot off the pedal now, I believe you will miss what the greatest movement in financial services is going to be in the next 10 years. This is the roaring 20s. It's just our version. We're going to own this, and so will you. I just want to close out with this. I never graduated from college, right? This was my last degree, you guys. High school. So proud. By the way, raise your hand if you graduated high school. Raise your hand. Are you proud of that? Did you know you were supposed to graduate? You were supposed to graduate. You were not supposed to be a junior, a sophomore. You're supposed to graduate. I'm going to let you choose. This is my greatest degree. Our mentor sent us a plaque, $1 million, gave me a degree. And this degree has basically defined, and not the $1 million, forget that for a second, not the money, but it's defined who we can become. This is a special room. This is a special day. It's our first day. And I'll tell you, tonight we have our awards ceremony. We're going to celebrate the champions. Come across stage from 5 to 7 o'clock. Don't miss that. Be there. Clap for them. Hope you get dressed up because I want you to feel what we feel in this room. Also, all of today and yesterday, it's on demand. It's all recorded. So you can see that, right? And last but not least, let's go out there and do something special. Because this group of leaders here, when they go back home, they are ready to run with you. And we are ready to do something that the financial services world has never seen. We're not just going to be taking over. We will be the company. Have a great, great breakout. See you guys tonight.
Bye.